Gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning with open hearts and open minds. Lord, direct us, guide us, use us to serve the citizens of this great county and community. Lord, we pray especially this morning for the school system, for all the teachers and support staff, the administration. Today is a half day, the last day of school. Lord, we pray for the students, for their safety and well-being as they are obviously joyous that today is the last for the summer. And Lord, watch over them, protect them, guide them throughout their summer activities. Lord, we pray that many good things will become of the students and our administration and our teachers. Lord, watch over them, protect them, give them encouragement, and just bless them throughout the summer vacation and time off for the summer. Lord, lead, guide us here today. May we honor and please you in all that we do and say, for it's in your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. With that, we'll call our meeting officially to order. And first on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of May 5th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is commissioners' reports and comments. And Commissioner Wagner, you want to go first?
I'm going to make it short this morning. Good morning. Glad everybody could make it. I don't have any comments for this morning.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Randy Leatherman.
Oh,
Good morning.
thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. In John's prayer, he recognized the school students today, last day of school in Washington County. Wow. I'm sure our memories, all of us can go back to that, how exciting that was.
Water guns.
I'm sorry?
Water guns.
Water guns, that's right, water guns. So congratulations to the students, certainly wishing them a safe summer. Just a quick shout out to the parents, grandparents, family members. Let's turn off the devices this summer occasionally and pick up a good book. I'm a big advocate of reading to our children, so that's my tip for the day for the last day of school. I got to recognize a couple new Eagle Scouts in Washington County. Caleb Ritter on June 6th, Scout Troop 108. Congratulations on him becoming an Eagle Scout. Bennett Dugan on June 7th, Troop 66, another Eagle Scout. Huge accomplishments in these young men. Very proud of them. And finally, on June 4th, we had our 10th annual Washington County Public Safety Awards. We recognized 33 individuals or instances of bravery in Washington County. It was incredible. It was just a really well-done event. It was at Fire Station 12 in Fairplay. It was hosted by the Chamber, and hats off to the Chamber for once again doing a magnificent job of recognizing our heroes in Washington County. That concludes my comments. Thanks, John.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Parrott.
Oh, good morning.
Mr. Ray, please, Mr. Ray, please sit down.
I gave you an opportunity to stand against them. You said
Say the
you
words.
wanted public comment,
Say the
and then
words.
you back out. That
Mr.
shows
Ray,
weakness. When
you're out of order, Mr. Ray.
Position as a leader, you need
Please
to
leave,
stand
Mr. Ray.
against them. You were given an
Where's the
afforded
deputy?
an opportunity to speak.
I'm going to ask the deputy to remove Mr. Ray.
Comment is afforded to you where public comment is not. Imagine how the people that are voting for you feel when you're afraid to even stand up against the very people that they don't want to vote for. That's ridiculous, Leatherman.
Off air.
Okay.
Good morning. A lot of things that we can be thankful for, especially when we think about Memorial Day, which was the last time that before we were here, was before Memorial Day. And I want to thank our staff for a great parade that they helped put on. They got the Boonesboro Parade and Star Trek Parade. I was able to be part of the Boonesboro Parade. And I want to thank both towns for hosting such great events. Also at Halfway Park, we recognized Seaman Craig Wibberley and Fireman Patrick Roy, who were killed on the USS bombing. and also members of the World War II Korean conflict, we were able to take those plaques and put them up. I want to thank Michael Boyd and the Tech High Tech High students for their role in doing this. Jim Klein with the Joint Veterans Council of Washington County, and our own Jamie Dick with the Washington County Parks and Recreation, and Sweeney Masonry for helping to make this happen. I think it's a really good and nice memorial. If you have a chance to go to halfway where the pool is, you can see where the flag is. It's right there, a really nice memorial. Also want to encourage everyone to vote. Voting is very important. We have Governor, Congress, this board, the Board of Education. Democrats can vote on their ballot, Republicans on their ballot, and unaffiliated voters can also vote for the Board of Education. I encourage everyone to get out and vote. Early voting actually starts this Thursday, goes for 1 week, so June 11th to June 18th, with Election Day on the 23rd. And of course, if someone would rather vote by mail, they could do that as well. And one last thing I'd like to say is some really exciting events are coming up. July 4th, you guys have probably seen this, but there's a big drone show and fireworks. Thank our staff for working on that. And I encourage everyone to come on out and celebrate 250 years of Washington County. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Mr. Klein?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I too enjoyed the parades Boonesborough and Sharpsburg had, and our county float was exceptional, so thanks to the staff that created that float. Over the weekend, I attended the Humane Society of Washington County's Luau's, a fundraiser for the Humane Society, well attended, and some very nice volunteers who commit to that organization. I also attended the Washington County Chambers. Thank you for our first responders down at Fairplay. I think it was their 10th annual. It continues to recognize the sacrifices, and quite frankly, every day there's a miracle in Washington County from our first responders. Also, it was at Smithsburg EMS. They had a ceremony of bringing in their new ambulance, where they have people push the ambulance in. It's sort of a tradition, but Smithsburg has come a long way in partnership with the county. They're now a stellar organization out there. So thank you to all those people out at Smithsburg. And again, I did attend Memorial Day ceremonies at Marty Snook Park. We raised plaques off the ground for Craig Wibberley and Patrick Roy, and I think it was the 1940 class of Hagerstown was also commemorated. And I think Commissioner Barwell mentioned Sweeney Masonry, Tech High, and Jim Klein, and our rec department, Jamie Dick and Parks and Rec, who helped facilitate that project. We do have another big event going on. It started this week. It's the Washington County Ice Cream Trail. It's honoring 16 different ice cream establishments, locally owned, supporting small businesses. I've been to about 8 of them so far, and it's impressive to see people walking up with their maps already in their hand. And I think there's breaking news that someone's already completed all 16 locations within a week. So I'd like to give that guy an award.
That's not good for your diet there, Jeff.
I'm doing fine. But I want to thank everybody for being here today, and that concludes my report.
I got to pick on him a little bit. Thanks for the help with the memorial. At Marty Snook Park. Just a little bit behind that story. Jamie Dick from Parks and Recreation approached Commissioner Klein and I together at an event and said how nice it would be to get those memorials up off of the ground. They're covered in snow. They're covered in dirt. It's very disrespectful. And he said the problem lies with the students and the teachers at Tech High wanted to help, but they needed a professional mason to help them and guide them and give them the support. So Commissioner Klein and I reached out to Nate Sweeney, Sweeney Masonry. He graciously jumped on board, turned it into a very nice project, and hats off to Nate Sweeney, and personally, because he worked with the students. They did an incredible job and a nice ceremony. So,
Yes, it was.
Yep, it was very nice. Again, thanks to Sweeney Masonry and Nate Sweeney in particular. For me, there's a number of things the past 2 weeks. And of course, I had a granddaughter that graduated from Clear Spring High School, so there was a senior awards night one night. 2 nights later, there was a baccalaureate service, which I think a lot of schools no longer participate in baccalaureates. And then several days later was the annual commencement at Clear Spring High School, so attended all 3 of those events. The John Fry Awards was 2 weeks ago. Many of us were there. A lot of nice presentations for awards for rehabilitation of older facilities in our community, both residential and commercial projects. Very nice and well-attended ceremony, and hats off to the Washington County Historic Preservation folks, because they put a lot of work into that every year. They take applications, they review the submissions and the things that were accomplished, and hand out some nice awards. Also attended the 10th annual honoring the men and women of public safety in Washington County, which has already been mentioned here. Again, some of the heroic stories that have taken place in the past year by our first responders in this community is very heartwarming, including some folks that have survived gunshots. So it was a very nice ceremony. One last thing that I have this morning, I know we've been talking, myself personally, pushing for water and sewer in our community, jointly with the city of Hagerstown. I know there's a lot of folks that think we don't work together, and we are. We're trying to do better at that, and how important water is for all the citizens of Washington County, not just the city of Hagerstown or Sharpsburg or Clear Spring, Williamsport, what have you. It is universal across our county and our community. And I follow Kippinger's letter religiously. Their accuracy rate over the past 100 years is somewhere in the 90th percentile. And this week, I shared with our county administrator water systems. Note, rising worries about the condition of U.S. water and sewer systems. Only 39% of municipal officials rate their systems in satisfactory condition, down from 82% just 4 years ago. It also goes on to say 18% of respondents rate their systems not satisfactory, up from almost 0 in 2022. And in a new American Water Works Association survey, respondents' 5-year outlook for the health of U.S. water and systems dropped to the lowest rating in 8 years. Upgrades require costly repairs or outright replacements of aging systems, as governments face rising construction costs and difficulty securing financing. Other challenges for utilities: higher tariffs, supply chain disruptions, more frequent natural hazards, cyber threats, regulatory issues, and labor shortages. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is very critical that this board and the succeeding boards of county commissioners, city council folks, mayors and councils of the various municipalities, it is imperative that we communicate, collaborate, and work to better our water system and our sewer systems. So that's my soapbox for this morning. With that, I'm going to ask staff comments. Michelle Gordon.
Thank you. I also attended the Sharpsburg and Boonesboro Memorial Day parades. I'd like to thank both towns for putting on the parades for the community, and I'd also like to thank our public relations staff and our highway staff for creating the float. It was a big hit this year, and received a lot of positive feedback from the community during both parades. I attended the John Fry Awards. Let's see. I also attended the new burn building and fire training tower demonstration at the Public Safety Training Center. We had a soft opening. It's part of Phase 1 at the Public Safety Training Center at Tactical Village. This facility will allow our firefighters, law enforcement officers, as well emergency medical service providers and other emergency responders in the area to train together in realistic environments to strengthen communication, coordination, and decision-making. The Tactical Village provides our first responders with the opportunity to practice critical skills in a safe, controlled environment. I also attended the Memorial Day ceremony at Marty Snook Park, where the newly constructed stonework at the Veterans Memorial was unveiled. I'd like to thank the students at Tech High, A.E. Sweeney Masonry, as well as our Parks and Rec staff for their hard work, skill, and dedication to honoring our local heroes who gave the ultimate sacrifice. I'd like to thank our highways crews for clearing roads during this weekend's weather events. I have one OMA opinion that I'd like to read. Let's see, dated May 20th, 2026, 20-175. In this opinion, they addressed 2 complaints. The first asserts that the county board engaged in improper closed sessions. The second complaint alleged that the county board improperly removed an individual from an open session. For the first session regarding closed session discussions about responding to PIA requests, this is the latest in a series of submissions by the same complainant alleging that the county board improperly engaged in closed-door discussion. In September 2025, they issued an opinion addressing his allegation based on a record of swipes of board members assigned key cards that the 3 members convened in a secret meeting on February the 13th, 2025. Because they are unable to resolve factual disputes, they could not determine whether the county board met on February the 13th or whether the board or the body violated the act. For the second complaint and opinion, in February 2026, the complainant now alleges that the county board violated the act by discussing the PIA request in closed session discussions in February and March of 2025. He says that he reviewed the agendas for each of the 4 publicly disclosed meetings in that time period, and none, he asserts, indicated that the body would discuss a PIA request or response in closed session. He further alleges that that such a topic is not one of the reasons that a public body may close a session under the act. Returning to the complaint before them, they find that no violation based on the complainant's allegation that the meeting agendas did not reflect the county board intended to discuss the PIA in closed session. The act does not require the agenda to reveal anything about what the public body discusses or expects to discuss in the closed portion of the meeting. Also, according to the board's county attorney, an inquiry of the county board in relation to the PIA request would have taken place in a closed session pursuant to certain exceptions. In support of this assertion, the county board has provided copies of 4 written closing statements, each of which invoked the legal advice exception. We can say that as an abstract matter that discussions involving county board's questions about the county's response to the PIA request and council's legal advice in response to those questions would fall within a legal advice exception. The county board also provided them with minutes of the 4 closed sessions in question. Closed session minutes were provided in compliance with their request. They are unable to resolve this part of this complaint. They stop short of finding a violation because they cannot rule out the possibility that closed session discussions about the PIA involved the performance of an administrative function, which is an allowable task that can be performed in closed session. When a public body performs an administrative function, the act generally does not apply, meaning that any deficiency in the minutes would not violate the act. We have previously said that a discussion about how to comply with the Open Meetings Act as an administrative function, because the act is a law that the public body must consider and apply regularly. We think the same is true of the discussions about responding to requests under the PIA. Because the closed session discussions here may have been administrative, then we cannot say that the county board violated the Open Meetings Act by failing to keep more detailed minutes of the discussions. We find no violation here because we cannot rule out the possibility that the PIA-related discussions were administrative in nature. We are unable to resolve this complaint. For the second complaint regarding the removal of an individual from a meeting. The second complaint, which alleges that the county board violated the act by removing someone from a March 17, 2026 meeting. This meeting included a public hearing on a proposed modification of 911 fees. The individual in question was among several members of the public who signed up to testify about this proposal. During her comments to the county board, she said that the fiscal crisis that prompted the proposed fee modifications was due in part to the county's lack of jurisdiction over a property that the federal government had recently purchased to use as an immigration detention facility. The board president called the speaker's name and banged his gavel several times. The individual kept speaking. The president then banged his gavel again, saying, "You are out of order." The speaker responded that she was addressing the proposed 911 fee increase and continued to read her prepared remarks, interrupting the board president. The president banged his gavel several more times, then said, "I'm asking you to step away from the microphone." Staff apparently turned off her microphone, but the individual kept speaking. The board president said that's irrelevant to the 911 fee increase. The board president said, "I'm going to ask you to sit down or please leave." The individual kept speaking. The board president then asked a law enforcement officer to escort the speaker from the meeting room. Based on this record, we find no violation of the act. The general public is entitled to attend any open session of a public body, but the act does not afford the public the right to participate in the meeting. Moreover, that act states that if the presiding officer determines that the behavior of an individual is disrupting an open session, the public body may have the individual removed. And despite several warnings that her comments were not pertinent to the subject of the public hearing, the individual continued to speak. We thus conclude that the county board was entitled to have the individual removed from the meeting under 3-303C. The county board did not violate the act by removing an individual from the March 17th meeting. I'd also like to remind everyone that we are having 250th anniversary celebration at the Ag Center on July the 4th. It begins at noon. It should end that evening somewhere around 9 or 10 o'clock with the drone show. We have published the itinerary for the day. We also will have free transit service available from the transit center located here behind our building to the Ag Center in on the Sharpsburg Pike. It will run about every hour, taking individuals back and forth between downtown Hagerstown and to the Ag Center. Lots of events happening, lots of drone shows. There'll be lots of vendors available to purchase food. We will have a kids zone, Public Relations Department, our Parks and Rec Department, and many other departments in the county have been working very hard on this, and I encourage everyone to attend this event. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. With that, we'll move right into our agenda. Under tab 1 is the ASME Collective Bargaining Memorandum of Understanding approval. We have folks here this morning from ASME. Sam, come on up, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay. Sorry. This is a presentation only, signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Board of County Commissioners and the Maryland Public Employees Council, AFSCME, AFL-CIO, and Local 2677, the AFL-CIO. That was formally amended and approved by the Board of County Commissioners on May the 21st, 2026. We did have one minor adjustment that needed to be made, and we asked our representatives to join us here today so that we can have an official signing of the MOU. There's no action that needs taken today since it's already approved. This is just a signing.
Okay. So are we going to do the signing out front?
Yes. All right.
Yep, I've got two originals here.
Sits there right there.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, next on the agenda is under tab number 2, Youth Meritorious Award Presentation. Richard, good morning.
Morning. Morning. Richard Lesh, Grant Manager, Office of Grant Management. And today we're here to recommend an award. Throughout the school year, the Board of County Commissioners present Youth Meritorious Awards to students attending both public and private schools or those being homeschooled in Washington County. The following individual has been selected based on his scholastic achievement, leadership qualities, community service performed, and other positive contributions to their school and community. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a young man who embodies the very spirit of Meritorious Award, Grant Semler. Grant is a senior this year, just graduated from North Hagerstown High School, where he has maintained a stellar reputation as a true scholar athlete. He is a standout left-handed pitcher for the North High varsity baseball team. He competes at a high level for the traveling Hagerstown team, Barrel Nation, and has already committed to continuing his academic and athletic career at Concord University in Athens, West Virginia next year. But what truly sets Grant apart is his commitment to service. While managing a rigorous academic schedule, he dedicates time to tutoring elementary students at Fountaindale Elementary. He understands that leadership means lifting others up. Furthermore, Grant is a creative force. Over the past few years, he has developed an expertise in digital media and production, earning a local recognition for his talent. It is this passion that he will pursue his degree in college. The future is incredibly bright for Grant and a deserving recipient for the Youth Meritorious Award. I present to you Grant Semler.
Congratulations. Grant, would you like to say anything?
I think I'm good.
If you will, from over here to the flags, I'm honored on behalf of the county commissioners. Congratulations to the man. You know what this means. In about 20 years, you need to be sitting up here. So, first of all, the coveted Washington County pin that we all adorn every day. And we'd like to present you with this certificate of recognition. On behalf of my fellow commissioners, we present it to Grant Semler. We, the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, do hereby recognize you for the outstanding achievement of being selected as a recipient of the May 2026 Youth Meritorious Award, North Hagerstown High School. Your academic accomplishments, humanitarian efforts, and extracurricular activities are to be commended by both parents and students in Washington County. You have proven to be a superior role model. We congratulate you on your achievements and wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Awarded this 9th day of June 2026 by the County Commissioners. There's also an envelope back here. It's for you, so spend it on yourself. Come up front. Parents come up. Let's go ahead and do the parents. Randy, we're going to let the parents. Try to sneak in here extra.
You stand in the middle. Shift this way slightly. Perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. The commissioners could join.
Are we going out?
Yeah. It's your turn. What's that?
No, God, no.
I
know that.
Okay, so let's stand. Are you artistic?
Not really.
No,
Good to see you.
so that doesn't hold.
In the digital, in the digital.
He's digital. Artistic. He says
In the digital.
he's digital media.
Oh, digital media.
Oh, okay.
No,
But you are? Yeah. Photography.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool day.
Oh, he is.
It's getting there.
He's gonna pass that. Everyone look here. 1, 2, 3.
Are they really? Yeah. Wow, good for him, though. Yeah, that's great. Thank you all.
Okay, next up under tab 3 is the annual report from the Tri-County Council for Western Maryland. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having me today. I started with Tri-County Council about 16 months ago. I know Tri-County Council has not come to a Commissioners meeting in some time, but we just completed our 2025 annual report, and I wanted to present that to you. As you know, Commissioner Klein and Commissioner Leatherman are members of our 26-member board, and Tri-County Council is an instrumentality of local government that was established way back in 1972. We are authorized by state statute, and we also serve as a conduit to Appalachian Regional Commission funding and Economic Development Administration funding, so federal funding coming to the region. The reason that we exist for that purpose is so that the federal government can ensure that federal dollars are being spent in accordance with local goals and priorities. A few highlights in the report before you. One of the EDA, or Economic Development Administration projects that was recently completed was the Bowman Training Center. The ribbon cutting was last year, and we were able to have our Tri-County Council meeting there in December to be able to show that asset off to the region. Talk about a lot of things in this annual report, and I won't go into all of that today. I will keep it brief. But something that I'm particularly proud of is our revolving loan funds. So we lend to small businesses and entrepreneurs in the 3 Western Maryland counties. We do this through various revolving loan funds from state and federal sources. But last year, 2025, we had a banner year and lent over $4 million to the 3 counties. And $2,062,985 was lent right here in Washington County. Towards the back of the report, there's 2 Washington County businesses that are highlighted. 96 Royal Beans down here in downtown Hagerstown, as well as Everyday Earth that's located in Boonesboro. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I have a few extra copies of the report that I will leave with Michelle. But I thank you just very much for your time and your ongoing commitment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Just thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Good report. Appreciate all the work that goes into Western Maryland. Next up is under tab 4 is FY26 budget adjustments to the Washington County Board of Education's general fund budget. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Prude, Chief Operating Officer of Washington County Public Schools.
Good morning, Eric Sisler, Executive Director of Finance for Washington County Public Schools.
Commissioner, the matter before you is the FY26 budget adjustments for the Board of Education's general fund budget. As I tell you each time we come forward, the annotated code requires the local school systems to periodically reforecast and reevaluate any necessary budget changes. To that end, you have changes that were approved by the Board of Education at its business meeting on May 19th, 2026. The one item I do want to highlight, the largest value on this item, is approximately $1 million transfer from the category which is maintenance of plant, which is our maintenance department, to the category for food services. Our audit firm, Clifton Larson Allen, requests that any funds being used to support the maintenance within the food service department that is being done by the general fund be transferred to the food service category. I want to make the distinction. This is the food service category of the general fund of the Board of Education and not the enterprise fund, which is the fund that operates the food service department. In this summer, we've plan to do several improvements in a handful of schools, adding additional walk-in freezers to support growing participation in the Food and Nutrition Services program. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, questions, comments? Motion for
Motion to
approval?
approve the adjustment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of the adjustments as listed. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Commissioners.
Thank you.
Zach, do we need a motion to go into
Yeah.
convene? Okay.
Motion to convene as the Board of Health.
Okay, we have a
And
motion.
And a second.
Okay, second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next, this item is substance abuse. Let Everyone Advance with Dignity program. So Earl Stoner, you're up.
Earl Stoner, Washington County Health Department, Health Officer.
Hi, my name is Laura Sheffield Bishop. I'm the Director of Behavioral Health Services in the Washington County Local Addiction Authority.
We are here today to seek approval from the board for a contract with the Potomac Community Services. Basically, it's to increase the amount of award that we have with them for the LEAD program. The new award amount will be $108,480. We had an initial contract with them, and then we had leftover money through some budget modifications and things of that nature at the end of the year. So instead of investing that internally, we want to go ahead and give $60,524 more dollars for that program to Potomac Community Services.
I guess
Oh, you have a question?
Question, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what exactly does the LEAD program do? What would this money go directly towards?
It'll go directly towards targeted case management. So the way the program works is when police divert folks to the program, they'll get enrolled into peer recovery services and then have a case manager through Potomac Case Services. And they'll get them connected to community resources, such as behavioral health treatment, entitlements through DSS, a lot of the basic needs that they need.
And this has been very successful at reducing recidivism. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Within the last quarter, we only had, I think it was 2 folks out of 23 that violated probation.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is yeah.
I just want to also reinforce that 100% of the funding for this contract is provided by the Maryland Department of Health, Behavioral Health Administration, and no additional funding is being requested from the county.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 6 is state care coordination.
Okay, this is a request for approval of a contract to Care First Community Health, LLC, in the amount of $118,000 for the State Care Coordination Program. This is basically a recovery support program, obviously focused on behavioral health, substance use disorder, and mental health. Really linking individuals, providing supports for them in the community and things they may need, transitioning to and from care and those sorts of things. And from the fiscal standpoint, 100% of these funds are also through the Maryland Department of Health, down through the Behavioral Health Administration.
Just a curious question on all these programs. How are the people admitted to these programs? I mean, does the health department do that? Are they referred, or I'm just curious about it. How do you find the people with the mental issues and the behavioral issues?
So we do a lot of, 1, community partnerships, and 2, a lot of outreach. So we'll do a lot of community events, and I mean, it depends on what type of, which program. So the LEAD program specifically is more through the police, and that's more of our priority, but community partners can refer high-risk folks to us as well. And then for state care, they have to be either in an outpatient treatment, or they're transitioning from inpatient to an outpatient program. So we have a lot of relationships with
So
the
like Meredith
providers.
could send somebody to you?
Yep,
Okay.
that's correct. Yep.
Okay. Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 7 is Maryland Medical Assistance Non-Emergency Transportation Contract.
Okay, this is a request to approve a contract with AmVan Incorporated, better known as AAA Transport, in the amount of $1.2 million for the contract year of July 1st of '26 through June 30th of '27, with 2 consecutive option years. Basically, this is for individuals who are on medical assistance, and it provides non-emergency medical transportation to providers and to care that they may need. And 100% of these funds, these are actually federal funds that come down through the state, and the state has local health departments, mostly local health departments in Maryland, implement this program. So there's no county money involved at all.
Any idea how many transports that?
Exactly. Hold on. All right. So for fiscal year '26, and these are one way, so obviously just double that, we've done 13,761 total transports. Majority of those being taxi related, because there's also like ambulance transports and things of that nature, but
Right.
pretty significant.
Yeah, that is. Thank you.
Earl, do you get reimbursed in any other fashion for those? Is there, folks have to use their own dollars or insurance or whatever?
It's just
Totally
being
funded.
qualified for a medical assistance program. It's federal money, and it's, basically granted to each state, and then each state implements it in various and sorted ways. But no, there's no reimbursement for that.
So the 13,600 whatever trips, would that all take place through AAA Transport, or?
AAA Transport typically does ambulance and wheelchair services. And then if I'm correct in my memory, they have a sedan service that they sub out to.
Okay, so it's all handled through them, but,
It's all handled through them.
gotcha,
Yes.
all right, thank you.
Yes. I misunderstood. You're right. Sorry.
Okay. We have-
Motion to approve?
Second?
We have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
You need a motion to go back in? I need a motion to go back into general session.
Motion to go back in general session?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. With that, we're under tab 18. Is that right?
Number 8. 8.
Yeah, they missed a page. John, you have to go to your honor agenda.
Where's,
Oh,
Yeah, there's a page missing in there.
yeah, I'm missing a page. Okay. Thought something didn't look right. Okay, tab number 8, I'm glad I called that out. Long Meadow Road and Paradise Church Road property acquisition. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Do you need this back?
Todd Moser, Real Property Administrator, Division of Engineering. Move to approve the option agreement for partial property acquisition, including fee simple for 13505 Long Meadow Road in Hagerstown, and approve an ordinance approving said purchase and to authorize the execution of necessary documentation to finalize the acquisition. One option agreement has been executed for the above-mentioned property. The fee simple acquisition is shown in the table below. Again, the address is 13505 Long Meadow Road in Hagerstown. Fee simple acquisition consisting of 827 square feet, and acquisition costs $3,810. This partial property acquisition is for a planned intersection improvement project, new traffic signal and lane configuration at the intersection of Long Meadow Road and Paradise Church Road as identified in the capital improvement plan. Are there any questions?
yeah, I have a couple. Is this fair market value? Have you had it appraised?
We have everything appraised, yes, it's appraised, this is fair market value.
And has the property owner agreed to that?
Yes, they have.
Okay, thanks. Then I make a motion to go ahead and approve the sale.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Okay, very good. Thank you. Next item under tab 9 is Appletown Road property acquisition. Todd?
Again, Todd Moser, Real Property Administrator, Division of Engineering. Move to approve the option agreement for partial property acquisition, including fee simple and easements for 6137 Appletown Road in Boonesboro. And approve an ordinance approving said purchase and to authorize the execution of necessary documentation to finalize the acquisition. One option agreement has been executed for the above-mentioned property. Fee simple and easement acquisitions are shown in the table below. Again, the address 6137 Appletown Road in Boonesboro. Fee simple acquisition consisting of 589 square feet, easements 475 square feet in perpetual drainage, and 840 square feet in temporary construction. Total acquisition cost is $1,100. This project is for a culvert replacement on Appletown Road. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item under tab 10 is easement donation for Mount Etna Waterline Project.
Jason, Interim Director, Environmental Management.
Move to approve the donated easement, abandonment of portion of existing easement, and approve ordinance approving said acquisition and to authorize the execution of the necessary documentation to finalize the acquisition. The project involves replacing old water line that runs along Mount Etna Road and tying into the existing water line at the end of High Point Drive on the Highland View Academy property. Chesapeake Conference Association of Seventh-day Adventist INC Highland View Academy have agreed to waive their right to just compensation and donate water line easements on their property. A portion of the existing water line easement to the east will be abandoned and the new water line will run parallel with Mount Etna Road. The water line easements are as follows. Property map 59, parcel 35, permanent water line easement consisting of 17,880 square feet. Property map 59, parcel 165, another permanent water line easement consisting of 22,741 square feet. Are there any questions?
I'm sorry. Any idea the age of the existing water line?
That's a good question, but it's been in the ground probably 50 years or more. I mean, it's one that's been around for a while.
I got you. Thanks.
I guess, of course, Highland View Academy, they've agreed to this.
Yes.
And did we make any promises for them to do this? I guess just the fact that we're going to probably redo these water lines?
These are water lines that they transferred to us, I believe back in the 70s. I could be wrong about that. So it's a direct benefit to them, so that's why I approached them with a donation, in this case, and waiver of just compensation.
Right. I think the Academy had the system originally, and then we took it over probably in the late 70s or early 80s, I would guess. And so it became Washington County system. So we've basically taken over a system. Now we're making improvements as needed.
And of course, they pay water and sewer fees.
Yes, they do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Motion to approve.
And a second.
Okay, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next item under tab 11 is construction bid award, Showalter Road at Perini Avenue intersection improvements. Scott Hobbs, good morning.
Good morning, Scott Hobbs, Director of Engineering.
I'm sorry to say, but this isn't right. This isn't normal.
Ma'am?
You hear that protest outside? NDAs, I guess you saw it.
Bang the gavel.
Ma'am, you're out of order.
And
Please,
I'm sorry, but I'm not out of
please.
order because I'm standing.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to sit down or please leave.
I cannot.
Ma'am,
I read in the papers that you folks
officer,
signed an NDA
going to have to remove her.
for public officers. It is
All fair.
impossible
Okay, good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Scott Hobbs, Director of Engineering. I'm here to recommend the board award the bid for the Showalter Road at Perini Avenue intersection improvements contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Roland and Company of Hagerstown, Maryland, in the amount of $417,525.50. The county accepted bids on the project on May 6th. The project was advertised on the state of Maryland's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website and on the county's online bidding website. 2 bids were received as shown on the attached bid tabulation. The project involves work on Showalter Road and Perini Avenue, including construction of a concrete median and auxiliary lane, grading, asphalt paving, pavement marking, signage, and installation of traffic barrier. The project is a 100 consecutive calendar day contract with an anticipated notice to proceed in July and a completion date in October 2026. There will be road closure on Perini Avenue and lane closures on Showalter Road associated with this work. Public notices will be made and road work signs posted prior to the start of work. The project will utilize available funds from the capital improvement plan, and total expenses are estimated at $497,525.50, including the proposed bid and $80,000 for other expenses such as inspection, testing, utilities, and construction contingency. Any questions?
What was, you might have said it and I might have missed it. What's the engineer's estimate on that?
$425,000. So it's in line with the bids.
Scott? Go ahead, Neil.
I know we talked a little bit. How many crashes have been at that intersection that we're trying to solve?
There have been 10 incidents at the intersection in the last 3 years, with 6 documented as more severe crashes and 3 personal injury crashes as part of that.
And in addition, there have been a lot of near misses. Is
Yes,
that
many
correct?
near misses.
Okay, so this is really a safety project?
Yes.
And I guess when construction begins, would there be a 4-way stop installed at Perini and Creighton?
Yes, that's what we're looking at.
Okay.
Yes.
I think communication on this one's going to be extremely important, especially with the amount of traffic that goes in and out of the airport parking lot directly across the street.
Yes, the same intersection where the exit to the airport. So there'll be constant communication with the public and with the contractor dealing with our staff and the citizens.
A lot of people very unfamiliar with the area going into the airport to either pick up family or whatever coming in and out on Allegiant. So this is a very troublesome spot. I know that for a fact. So hopefully during the construction, there's adequate signage and folks guiding and guarding the tractor and trailers in and out of that very dangerous situation. So with that,
I just have a question then. Is mostly this night work or is it day work or?
We have it set up as day work, and then depending on how the some of the traffic control works, there may be night work at times, but at this point in time, most of it's day work.
So it's going to affect the airport exit. Could you look at maybe doing more night work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Randy, I thought you had. Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay, motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
I'll
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. Ready to vote, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item under tab 12 is Appletown Road. Ma'am, you're out of order, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to sit down or leave, please. Ma'am, deputy, please remove her. Okay, under tab 12, Appletown Road Precast Concrete Box Culvert. Scott, you're up again.
Thank you. Scott Hobbs, Director of Engineering. I'm here to recommend the board award the bid for supplying a precast concrete box culvert for the Appletown Road Culvert Replacement Project to the lowest responsible bidder, Gillespie Precast of Chestertown, Maryland, in the amount of $114,727.14. The county accepted bids for the precast concrete box culvert on May 29th. The bid was advertised on the State of Maryland's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website and on the county's online bidding website. 2 bids were received as shown on the attached bid results. The precast concrete box culvert would be scheduled for delivery this summer. Work is anticipated to be completed by the Highway Department within 2 months from delivery of the culvert. The Highway Department works on culvert repairs and replacements for various projects each year. And this is one of those projects, and Todd earlier presented some of the work with the property owners regarding this project.
Okay. Motion? Questions?
I like the way you're constructing it. It's good. You get the whole thing built, bring it in, just stuck it in there. It's, I think, an economical way to do it.
Yes.
So I move to approve the project.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next item under tab 13 is contract extension, local cooperative 2023-01, number 2, heating oil supply and delivery.
Good morning, Karen Bickner, buyer in the Office of Procurement.
Andrew Eshelman, Director of Public Works.
The first recommendation we have is contract extension, local cooperative 2023-01. Move to concur with the recommendation of the Washington County Public Schools to extend the contract for Washington County Government's number 2 heating fuel oil to the responsible low bidder, AC&T Company Incorporated of Hagerstown, Maryland, who submitted a bid factor of 0.2395 cents per gallon for tank wagon deliveries. Washington County Government, the City of Hagerstown, Hagerstown Community College, the Washington County Free Library, the Washington County Health Department, and Washington County Public Schools cooperatively bid heating fuel requirements. On Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, the Washington County Public Schools extended its contract for tank wagon loads and transport loads to the responsible bidder, AC&T Company Incorporated of Hagerstown, Maryland. The contract was originally awarded by Washington County Public Schools on August 16th, 2022, through a competitively bid process and approved for use by the county by the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County on September 13th, 2022. The extension period is effective August 1st, 2026, and ending November 30th, 2026. This is an extension rather than a renewal due to the Washington County Office of Procurement taking the lead on combining both heating fuel and gasoline and diesel fuel deliveries into a single annual bid. These services are being combined to ensure a more efficient competitive bidding procedure. This competitive bid process will continue to be a cooperative contract for services for Washington County Government, the City of Hagerstown, Hagerstown Community College, Washington County Free Library, the Washington County Health Department, and Washington County Public Schools, with Washington County Government assuming the primary leadership role. The goal is to maintain collaboration between all parties while optimizing procurement for these essential services. And funds are budgeted as required by the individual using departments and agencies for this service.
Okay, any questions?
Except what, how many bids did you receive for this one?
Washington County Public Schools was the original lead on the procurement, and I don't know the answer to that question, but I can get it for you.
That'd be good. And it's not just one, right?
I wouldn't think there was just one, no.
I would like to hold it until we know how many other bids there were.
This is strictly an extension, correct?
Correct. It's essentially to align the bids up, because we're taking the heating fuel bid, which was previously one bid, and diesel and gas is another. So between the county and the school board taking the lead, we want to do an extension so that we can align the end dates of those terms up and do one larger bulk bid. So it's an extension to align those dates up.
So we've already had this contract
We've already
going.
done that, and that was the date 2022 that was awarded. So we're just extending that a little bit longer in the contract term to align those bids up.
That sounds good. Thank you.
So in November or thereabouts,
Correct. It'll be
you're gonna
one
come back-
larger bulk bid where we'll do them together.
Yeah, our current gasoline and diesel fuel competitive bid that we did last year is an annual bid, and that one ends November 30th. So we're just aligning them, like
Very
Andrew
good.
said. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and second. Ready to vote. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0, thank you. Next item under contract, under tab 14 is the contract renewal, PUR 1611, janitorial services for Washington County.
Karen Bigner, buyer in the Office of Procurement.
Danny Hickson, Deputy Director of Buildings and Grounds Facilities.
The second recommendation we have is contract renewal, PUR 1611. Move to renew the contract for janitorial services for Washington County office buildings under option number 1 with Jasso Maintenance LLC of Rockville, Maryland, based on its letter dated April 27th, 2026, requesting a 5% increase for fiscal year 27. The last request for an increase was made in fiscal year 2025. On August 8th, 2023, the board originally awarded a contract for the subject services to Jasso Maintenance LLC in the total annual amount of $285,118 for 8 locations. The term of the contract is for a 1-year period that commenced on August 8th, 2023, with an option by the county to renew for up to 4 additional consecutive 1-year periods. This is the third of 4 1-year optional renewals of the contract. The county reserves the right to accept or reject any request for renewal by the bidder and any increase in monthly costs for each specified building. Funds are budgeted for these services within each using department's FY27 operating budget account under maintenance services.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I guess, when was the last time we increased the amount?
It was in fiscal year 25, and at that time, it was a 7% increase that they requested.
So we're going quite a bit above the rate of inflation, right? 7% last year, and now it's 5%?
7% was in 25, so that was 2 years ago.
Oh, so this is 2 years. All right.
2
So
years ago, yeah.
We're a little bit less than inflation for this time. All right, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. 5-0, thank you. Next item under tab 15, sole source procurement, compatibility, purchase 1828, electronic door controls and intercom system upgrade at the Washington County Detention Center.
Karen Bigner, buyer in the Office of Procurement.
Terry Hill, Senior Systems Mechanic, Washington County Sheriff's Office.
The third recommendation we have is a sole source procurement for compatibility, PUR 1828. Move to authorize a sole source procurement for the electronic door control and intercom system upgrade at the Washington County Detention Center in the amount of $255,000 from Montgomery Technology Systems LLC of Greenville, Alabama. The Sheriff's Office wishes to apply Sections 1-106.2 A1 and 2 of the Code of Local Public Laws of Washington County, Maryland, to the procurement requested. These sections state that a sole source procurement is authorized and permissible when, number 1, only one source exists that meets the county's requirements, and number 2, the compatibility of equipment, accessories, or replacement parts is the paramount consideration. This request requires the approval of 4 of the 5 commissioners in order to proceed with a sole source procurement. This purchase is direct from the manufacturer of the current system in place at the detention center. The current system requires an upgrade and the integration and addition of the female housing unit to the existing system. The current system has components that are now obsolete, requiring an upgrade. With the integration of the new equipment coming directly from the manufacturer of the existing equipment, there will be no downtime of this critical security system during the upgrade, nor will there be any training required. This manufacturer is the sole source of this program and technology. Funds are available in the department's CIP budget BLD 089 for this purchase.
Questions?
If you were going to install a whole new door, like not go with the same company, about how much would that be?
Your system had documented that.
We had bid this out several years ago. One quote was 450, couple thousand. The other one was 575. Memory serves me right. This has been 7 years since we last bid this. MTI has been in our institution for nearly 30 years. We did one upgrade of the peripherals. Now we're doing, actually female housing is not integrated into our master control system, which is what we did 7 years ago. We were not able to control our entire facility from central control initially. And we are able to do that now. Now we want to add female housing so that we do have total control from one location. If an event would happen, that we would need to take full control of the entire facility from a centralized, secure location, number one. And number two, the peripherals that we do have, we're going to keep in place. There's no need to change those at this point. We'll be adding one monitor in female housing, a second control center in central control itself, and then the core itself is just antiquated. So the core they'll be upgrading into the new Dragonfly system, and we'll just keep on moving forward.
How many years do you think this would buy you using the same system?
I personally wouldn't know the technology, but I mean, based on what we have now, I mean, our core is over 30 years old. So if that's an indicator of how successful this company has been with their product and with their support, they've given us excellent support over the years. We've had little to no downtime with really the entire system ever. So it's been a good relationship and a good product.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
5-0, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Next item under tab 16, contract award PUR 1815, local care team coordinator.
Karen Bakener, buyer in the Office of Procurement.
Richard Lesh, Grant Manager, Office of Grant Management.
The last recommendation we have is contract award PUR 1815. Move to award the contract for the local care team coordinator to the responsible proposer with the responsive proposal. The purpose of the service to be provided is to fulfill of crime prevention, youth, and victim services. The award of funds for local care team coordinator shall commence upon receipt of a fully executed contract between the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County and the awarded vendor. The awarded contract shall expire on June 30th, 2027, with an option to renew up to 2 consecutive one-year periods through 2029. Notice of the request for proposal was advertised on UNA, the county's online bidding website, and on the state's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website. 18 individuals, companies, or bid houses downloaded the RFP document from the county's website. Proposals were received from 2 firms. The qualifications and experience submittals were evaluated, and one was considered to be responsive. Therefore, the price proposal of that firm was then opened and evaluated. The committee deemed the other firm to be non-responsive due to the lack of experience with child placement systems and special education, which was a requirement in the request for proposal. Therefore, this firm's pricing proposal was not opened. Funding from the Maryland Governor's Office for Children in the amount of $58,789 is available.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 17 is bid rejection, purchase 1800, hauling, recycling of scrap tires from the 40 West landfill.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brandy Kentner, Director, the Office of Procurement.
David Mason, Interim Director, Environmental Management.
The first recommendation I have for you this morning actually does have a correction. This will be a bid rejection and contract award for PUR 1800. Move to take action in the best interest of the county and to request that the bid for the hauling of scrap tires from Bio One of Bethesda out of Gaithersburg, Maryland be rejected without prejudice due to the vendor not being able to honor the prices that they did submit. The second part of this is we would like to move to award the bid to the next low bidder,
Panda Trucks out of Hagerstown, Maryland, for a total sum of $108,795 for 1 year, tentatively beginning July 1st, 2026, with the option for the county to renew up to 3 consecutive one-year periods. The county does not guarantee a minimum or maximum number of calls nor quantity of materials under this contract. The project scope is to remove for the removal and recycling of tires periodically as required and requested by Washington County's Solid Waste Department. The bid was advertised on the state of Maryland's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website, the county's new online bidding website. 7 vendors did download the document, and we did receive 2 bids. Funds are available in the department's operating budget. And just a little history, in 2025, the total cost of that contract was $28,697.50. In 2024, it was $20,250.14.
This references a bid tabulation matrix as an attachment, but we don't have that. Do you have that so that I can?
I can send that to all of you guys. You want a copy?
Yeah, let me make a copy for the commissioners.
My apologies, I thought that was on there.
Okay, so we're waiting, what was the original price for Bio One of Bethesda that they can't honor?
It's on the bid tabulation.
It was, for the small tires, $195 a ton, and for the large tires, $260 a ton.
And what's the new one that we're trying to accept today?
For small tires, $284.95 per ton, and for large tires, $395 per ton.
So it's a lot more. Did the Bio One of Bethesda give new prices? Did they do a bid to stay
No,
on? Or?
They didn't quite understand what the contract was asking. So the bid that they put in, my understanding, was for the hauling of tires. Then they wanted to charge us an additional amount for the recycling, where our contract specifically says all prices should include hauling and recycling of tires. So they just did not understand it. They could not honor their price. So they asked to withdraw their bid.
And they don't get the opportunity to modify their bid once it's submitted. That's their final bid. They have an opportunity to ask all questions for a period of 2 weeks, so we don't allow for modification.
Right, so we didn't go back out to rebid it. Once they fell through, we went with the existing bids that we had.
Yeah, the next bid that came in was from Panda, which we're asking to accept.
Okay.
And we checked with them. They are good with their pricing. Yeah, they understand exactly what's expected through the bid, so they are good.
And Panda's pretty much in line with the last 2 years. Like I said, their yearly quote was $27,198, and last year it was $28,000. So it's pretty much in line.
Great, thank you.
And because it wasn't attached, I'd like to, if I can, read into the record for the viewers that are here. PUR 1800, hauling of scrap tires. Line number 1, description, part 1, mixed auto and truck, less than 24-inch rims, removal, recycling, disposal. Tire estimates are based on scale records from July 2022 through June 2025, quantity 65 tons. For Bio One of Bethesda, the bid was a unit price of $195, extended to $12,675. For Panda Trucks LLC, that unit price was $284.75, extended to $18,508.75. For line number 2, which is part 2, agricultural equipment greater than 24-inch rim, removal, recycling, disposal of 1 tire. Estimates are based on scale records from July 2022 through June 2025, 22 tons. For Bio One of Bethesda, the unit price is $260, extended to $5,720. For Panda Trucks, the unit price is $395, extended to $8,690. Total bid price for Bio One of Bethesda is $18,395, and Panda Trucks is $27,198.75.
Yeah, it seems like to me, for the sake of, it's a one-year contract that starts July 1st, right? And we have an option to renew the next year.
Yes.
So that would, if this contract, if we wouldn't accept it, then you'd have nobody to do tires July 1st.
Correct.
For that reason, I'll motion to approve for a year.
For 1 year or for the term of the contract?
It's a one-year contract
with-
starting,
And we could renew it up to 3 consecutive one-year periods.
So the term of the contract?
can you renew without coming back?
We do renew without coming back unless they ask for a price increase.
Okay.
However, if you'd like it to be rebid next year, it would be a one-year, you would make a motion for a one-year contract.
Now, we do take the chance, if we go back and tell them it's a one-year contract, they could possibly not honor their prices and pull their bid.
Okay.
We only accept tires from in-county, is that correct?
Correct.
And we collect a fee for each one of those tires
Correct.
that we receive? Okay, correct.
I would keep the motion as approved because we have to have something by July 1st or you're going to have tires everywhere. Is that correct, Dave?
Well, we could still collect them, they'd just be piling up at the landfill.
A motion to approve as submitted, as presented.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second for, as submitted. Do we want to do this in two parts? The rejection of the first
Yes.
that's signed?
Yeah, it's a motion to reject the first contract.
Okay, do I have a second on that? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0 for the rejection. Now, we have a motion and a second
Discussion?
for the new contract.
And
Brandon?
in discussion, did they have a third? I mean, I see these two. Was there a third bid?
No.
So these were the only two bidders.
Correct.
And who was the vendor last year?
Emmanuel Tire out of Baltimore.
And they didn't,
They did not bid this year. I don't know why.
and you said last year was 28,000 total, so
Yeah.
this is actually a little bit under.
Yeah, and the bid is an estimate. We just give them an
It is.
estimate number of tires.
Based on
starting-
And this is self-supporting. The user fee would be passed on to whoever is bringing in the tires.
Yeah, we have set fees for bringing in, what we charge the customers.
Right, and that's not going to change. Good, thanks.
Okay, we're ready. Do we get a second?
We already have a
Motion and a
second.
second. Okay. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
To explain my vote, one thing I like is that Panda Trucks is located here in Hagerstown.
Next item under tab 18, bid award PUR 1809, security gates for Washington County Parks Department.
Randy Kentner, Director in the Office of Procurement.
Danny Dixon, Deputy Director of Buildings and Facilities.
Tim Alexander, Assistant Park Supervisor.
The next recommendation I have for you is the bid award PUR 1809. Move to award the bid for the purchase and installation of security gates at Regional Park, Marty Snook Park, and Penmar Park to the responsive bidder, Long Fence Company out of Ivesville, Maryland, for a total sum of $148,600. The purchase and installation of the security gates at Regional Park, Marty Snook Park, and Penmar Park will improve security, control after-hours access, reduce unauthorized or illegal activity on county park grounds. Approval of this award will enhance safety and operational control at the identified park locations. The bid was advertised on the State of Maryland's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website and the county's online bidding website. 11 companies did download the document, and we did receive 3 bids, and that bid tabulation is attached. Funding is available in the FY '26 and '27 Parks and Rec departmental budget.
Any reason, not that I don't want to save a bunch of money, but any reason that there's such a discrepancy in those bids, you think?
It's under my opinion that it's proximity to the competition. The other two companies that came in at higher bids are more towards the DC metropolitan area, and that'll drive costs down there.
Okay. Any other questions? We have a motion.
Motion to approve.
I said a question.
We have a motion on the floor.
We need a second for discussion.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Now, discussion.
Great, thank you. Will this save us money because we're not going to have police that have to go to the parks to lock it every night, or park ranger? Is that kind of the purpose?
I think it not only will save us money, but it'll also relieve the burden of our park staff and our county staff of having to address potential issues after hours.
Right, so this kind of guarantees that it will be locked.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, Ray?
Yep.
Ready? We have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item under tab 19 is sole source procurement, PUR 1825, Keystone CAD interface.
Randy Kentner, Director in the Office of Procurement.
Alan Matheny, Director of Emergency Management and Communications.
The next recommendation is a sole source procurement, PUR 1825. Move to authorize a sole source procurement for CAD interface software maintenance and annual licensing fees used by the Division of Emergency Management and Communications in the amount of $143,588 from Keystone Public Safety out of Maple Shade, New Jersey. The Division of Emergency Management and Communications wishes to apply sections 1 through 106.2A1 and 2 of the Code of Local Public Laws of Washington County to this procurement. This section states that a sole source procurement is authorized and permissible when only one source exists that meets the county's requirements. This request does require 4 out of 5 commissioners to proceed. The above approval is for software, maintenance, and annual licensing fees for the following systems within the Emergency Management and Communications Department: computer-aided dispatch, licensing for the main and backup 911 center, which includes the Keystone client and the web client. This also consists of CryWolf interface used for processing false alarm information and for billing. All other interface components are provided by outside softwares that communicates with the internal CAD system in order to complete call processing, dispatching, logging, mapping, recording, reporting, and web access. Funds are available in the department's operating budget for this purchase.
I guess is this probably what we've been using for the last several years?
For the last 20-plus years.
Okay. And do other counties around us use the same system?
No, everybody has a different CAD. Some people use Motorola, some people use Central Square. It's just what they have.
Have we looked at maybe other options to see if, because I see this as sole source, that might be less expensive?
We'd have to replace the whole CAD system.
That's
Which is-
millions. That would be, yeah, that would be substantial.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 20 is the sole source procurement, PUR 1827, fire hose software agreement for Division of Emergency Services.
Randy Kentner, Director in the Office of Procurement.
Eric Jacobs, Emergency Services.
The next recommendation is a sole source procurement, PUR 1827. Move to authorize a sole source procurement of the maintenance software agreement for the Division of Emergency Services for AutoCAD software upgrades and updates in the amount of $109,651.26 from ESO Solutions Incorporated out of Dallas, Texas. This is a maintenance agreement for the ESO software platform, which is utilized by county fire and EMS for fire incident reporting. DES wishes to apply sections 1 through 106.2A1 and 2 of the Code of Local Public Laws of Washington County to this procurement. This section states that a sole source procurement is authorized and permissible when only one source exists that meets the county's requirements and the compatibility of equipment, accessories, and replacement parts is the paramount consideration. This does require 4 out of 5 commissioners to proceed. This software is a necessary tool to ensure that accurate and factual National Fire Incident Reporting System compliant documentation of fire rescue and EMS incidents can be completed. Funds are available in this department's operating budget for this purchase.
Discussion?
So this is an annual, and how long have we used SO?
So originally it was Firehouse Software that transitioned to ESO, and for the length of the association and member companies using it, it's been decades.
Okay, thanks.
Looking for a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item under tab 21, intergovernmental cooperative purchase 26-0229, Maryland Emergency Service Transporter Supplemental Payment Program known as ESSP.
Randy Kettner, Director of the Office of Procurement.
Good morning, David Hayes, Director of Emergency Services.
The next recommendation is an intergovernmental cooperative purchase, INTG-26-0229. Move to authorize by resolution for the approval to contract services with Public Consulting Group LLC out of Boston, Massachusetts for consulting services to implement the Maryland Emergency Service Transporter Supplemental Payment Program, known as ESPP, for the Department of Emergency Services. This approval is also contingent upon the final approval of the final agreement approved by the County Attorney's Office and signed by the President of the Board of County Commissioners. The Maryland Emergency Service Transporter Supplemental Payment Program offers an opportunity for Washington County to receive an increase in reimbursement for the medical transport of Medicaid patients. Washington County is now in a position to enter into the program due to the increase of an ambulance services being overseen by the Division of Emergency Services. For each successive cost reporting cycle in consideration for the contracted services, Washington County will pay PCG 9% of the net federal share portion of reimbursements received by Washington County under this program. PCG would invoice annually based on the amount collected only. The Code of Public Local Law of Washington County 1 through 106.3 provides that the Board of County Commissioners may procure goods and services through a contract entered into by another government entity as long as we abide by the same terms and conditions of that contract, and we are doing so with this request. There is no budgetary impact, as this is a not-to-exceed pricing schedule based on the amount Washington County is reimbursed through the ESPP program.
What's the total revenue estimated to be generated from this contract?
Could be up to $3.5 million.
Dave, do you have any idea what percentage of EMS transports will result in recovery of funds?
So currently, this will only apply to Medicaid recipients of EMS care. The state provides $150 per 24-hour period for any one Medicaid patient, regardless of the number of transports. This actually brings that to, if we transport somebody 3 times, we would receive a reimbursement. But more importantly, what it does, it encumbers or includes all of the expenses in developing what that reimbursement total should look like, and then it's 50% of that. So as an example, in the $3.5 million estimate, the cost for transports likely would be around $1,500 per reimbursement. And when you use Community Rescue Service, which is the largest provider, and also the largest Medicaid transporter, they have about 5,600 calls that would come into that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that gets where you're looking to go.
I think it does, because if you're talking about those 6 medic units, then they are running 22,000 calls a year. So I think you just told me 25%.
Yeah, the requirements and why we are at the point now that we can and likely should enter this program is it requires the jurisdiction, which is the county, to be the deliverable of the service, which means we need to own the people and be the biller of record, which we now are for at least 5 companies. And as we continue to transition, that number will grow. The county is doing the billing, so that enables us to do that. And then we own the MSOP, which is the EMS operational program. Those are requirements that need to be into that. The positive of this is we have till July 1 to enroll. You only have 1 enrollment period per year. If we enroll by July 1, which we're prepared to do if this is executed today, it's a look back for the previous 12 months. So all of our expenses for the last 12 months that qualify can be included next June 30 for payment. The importance of this contract is this group is an SME in this program and delivers and does multiple counties throughout Maryland, so they're our quickest way in. and will help us maximize potential revenue recovery.
If we start with this group, like on these last couple of contracts, are we kind of locked into them in the future, or we could, and are there other companies that do this as well?
I would imagine that there are. We did a one-on-one with this particular company, and I think out of, and I don't have that information with me, but out of 15 states or 15 counties in the state of Maryland, they represent them all with the exception of one. And I think that one is doing it themselves. We don't believe that we're positioned right now to do this program ourselves. Our goal is to get this launched, and then we can evaluate it, much like we did with EMS billing. We currently use a third-party service for that. At some point, there may be an interest, and originally there was with a group of commissioners, to bring that in-house, but we launched with an outside agency that was better tooled and prepared to get us moving in the program.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It looks like you mentioned that like $3.5 million might come in, and they're going to take 9%. So we're going to pay $315,000 roughly for the service. I mean, couldn't we do that in-house for less than $315,000?
I don't think we're tooled right now with the expertise to do that and maximize the revenue. Our recommendation from county staff would be to move with a third party, and then again in 12, 24, 36 months, if the commissioner still thought that we could create a cost savings, then bring it back in-house at that point. The program will already be established, we'll already be familiar with all of the parameters, all the reimbursables, everything that we could get our money for, we want to try to maximize it.
Like at CRS as an example, they get reimbursed right now, right?
They do, $150 per Medicaid transport.
And using this service, how much would the reimbursement be?
It could be potentially at $1,500. Now, CRS wouldn't be reimbursed through this program because we don't own the people. We don't pay the salaries. You have to be the person that pays the expense that's included in this program. So CRS in and of itself, the way it's currently structured with corporation employees, would not be able to be included in it. When I say up to $3.5 million, at some point that would include CRS potentially transitioning employees to the county.
So how much is it now with the 5 companies that we do have?
I don't know that I have that here.
I think it's only between $300,000 and $500,000 now.
Yeah, it's a pretty low number. I think it's under.
It wouldn't be up to 3.5 million until it was a system-wide county service. It's 300,000 to 500,000 now.
Yeah, the spreadsheet doesn't have that, but she's right. It is somewhere less than $1 million. I think it's probably less than 700,000. But it's revenue we don't have right now. So the good news is we're capturing additional.
So the initial cost for the first year would be somewhere between $30,000 and $70,000, not the $350,000.
And this particular contract is pay for performance. So if we don't collect a dollar, we don't pay a dollar.
And I guess this doesn't affect CRS then at all in the current state. They're still going to get their, I guess, you said about $150.
Yeah, we would have about a little over 1,000 Medicaid calls that likely would qualify to some level with the companies that are on board.
And how long is this contract?
This is a cooperative contract, and I believe we've agreed to a 2-year period so that they could move us into the system, into the program, assist us the first year, and then the second year, we should get in the swing of things, and that's why we said we would revisit at that time, if possible, bring it in-house. But it's a cooperative, and you don't have to stay within that contract.
Did I hear you say July 1st is the deadline to get into this program? So that'd be good. Yeah.
This was bid by another company.
It's a Sourcewell contract.
Correct. So it was bid out by another organization or another county government or local organization, government organization. So we're just piggybacking on their contract.
Which contract are we piggybacking on? A different county or the
A
state?
different county or a different, I'm not sure.
It's a cooperative group. It's Sourcewell. We use Sourcewell for a number of contracts, and they had a contract for this and specifically awarded PCG for exactly what we were looking for, to get us enrolled, to get us started. They were the consultant that was awarded, and I believe there was so many agencies within Maryland that was already using this.
They're almost the exclusive provider of these consulting services for this particular program in Maryland.
But this was competitively bid. We're just piggybacking on another contract.
Right. I imagine the rural counties are probably not using it, Garrett, Allegheny.
Not currently, but I do know that Morgan County, West Virginia is now exploring that. West Virginia as a state is not a participant in this particular program yet, but they're working on legislation to move forward. The program is only about 3 years old. It's not a long-term program yet.
Thanks.
Yeah, I motion to approve that.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 22 is contract award PUR 1817, record keeping and actuarial consulting services for the retirement plan length of service award program, better known as LOSAP, and other post-employment benefits under GASB-75.
Randy Kentner, Director of Procurement. The next recommendation is the contract award for PR 1817. Move to award the contract for record keeping and actuarial consulting services for the retirement plan length of service award program and other post-employment benefits under GASB-75 to the responsive proposal, Bolton Partners Incorporated out of Baltimore, Maryland, per its price proposal dated April 27, 2026, for an initial one-year term with the option for the county to renew up to 4 additional one-year periods for a total sum of $332,600. The services consist of annual actuarial evaluations for employees, retirement plan, length of service awards program, and other post-employment benefits plan, preparation of annual employee benefit statements, approximately 100 benefit calculations annually, approximately 10 buyback calculations annually, administration of pension portal for employees, and preparation of GASB disclosure reports. Notice of the request proposal was advertised on the county's online bidding site as well as the Maryland Marketplace Advantage website. 18 companies downloaded the document. 3 companies were present at the pre-proposal. We did receive 1 proposal for these services. And to answer your question, we got, before you asked, we had only got 4 the last time, 5 years ago. So we got 1 this year, and it was our incumbent. The coordinating committee that reviewed the proposal was comprised with the Director of Procurement, the Director of Human Resources Retirement Coordinator, Director of Budget and Finance, and the county CFO. The fees for the services are paid from the pension funds. Years 21 through 26, for 5 years, the amount of that contract was $279,815.
So the last time we had this, it was 270,000?
$279,815. That was 5 years ago.
And now it's 332.
Does anyone know how many participants are in the LOSAP program?
Off the top of my head, I don't.
Okay,
We can get that for you. I'll get
I
that
was
for you.
just curious. Okay. So we're looking at $66,520 per year. Okay.
Okay. Motion? Anyone?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0, thank you. Next item under tab 23 is contract award, PUR 1819, stop loss insurance coverage.
Randy Kentner, Director.
Becky Lewis, Benefits Consultant for CBIZ.
The next recommendation is contract award PUR 1819, motion to award a contract for stop-loss insurance to the responsible proposal, Highmark of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who submitted a total annual premium for option one of $1,639,444 with a specific stop-loss of $175,000 per claimant. Stop-loss policies are insurances that protects the plan from significant claim costs associated with individual members or for the entire group. Currently, the Board of County Commissioners has a stop-loss policy with Highmark that limits the medical and prescription drug plan costs at a maximum of $175,000 per member per year. Direct notice of the request proposal was emailed to 13 potential providers. Proposals were received before the deadline of May 15, 2026 from 3 companies that are providers of stop-loss insurance. Funds are available in the FY27 health insurance budget for these services.
Ma'am, ma'am, you're out of order. I'm going to ask you to sit, please sit down. Please sit, ma'am, please sit down. You're out of order. Okay. Brandy, you have any further comments? Okay.
Any questions?
Commissioners?
So you had 3 bids. This is the lowest bidder. Okay.
And the presentation with the results are on there if you'd like to take a look at the proposals that we did get.
Out of curiosity, what is the order?
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
No, we need a motion. Do we have a motion?
I didn't. Motion to approve.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, motion
And
and a
a second.
second. Okay,
Yes.
all in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Okay, thank you. Next item under tab 24, contract award, PUR 1822, Hagerstown Regional Airport, rehabilitate runway 2-20.
Randy Kentner, Director in the Office of Procurement.
Andrew Eschlin, Director of Public Works.
The next recommendation is contract award PUR 1822. The recommended motions are motion 1, contingent upon successful FAA and MAA grant application and awards, move to award the contract for the rehabilitation of runway 2-20 at the Hagerstown Regional Airport to the responsible firm C. William Hetzer of Hagerstown, Maryland, for a total price of $2,220,450. Motion number 2, move to empower staff to sign and submit FAA and MAA grant applications, issue purchase orders, execute task orders, and complete related paperwork for this project based on the total cost being on the below amounts programmed and approved by the previous county budgets. Project scope includes the reconstruction and rehabilitation of existing crosswind runway 2-20, including runway milling and overlaying, replacement of airfield lighting with LED, new airfield signage, a constant current regulator, a supplemental wind cone, and replacement of lighting panel within the existing air traffic control tower. Runway dimensions are expected to be maintained. This project is time sensitive as FAA and MAA grant applications need to be submitted during the second week of June to meet the deadlines. The invitation to bid was advertised on the county's website and the State of Maryland's eMaryland Marketplace website. 12 companies downloaded the document, 6 firms were present at the pre-proposal, and 2 firms submitted a proposal. Funding is available in the Capital Improvement Plan, RUN 021.
Motion to approve motion 1, to accept the grant, complete, or submit the grant application. Is that correct? To award.
Motion 1's the contingent award. Motion 2 is to submit the grant application.
Okay, motion 1, contingent award, yeah. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Discussion.
Okay.
Thanks. If we get the grant application, if we get the grant, what percentage of the grant is going to cover the cost?
95% roughly.
So the county would pay the extra 5%?
Correct. The airport would pay the remaining 5% or so.
It's paid for out of the enterprise fund.
Right. So I know that we had electricity that went out this last week. Could that be included in something like this to get battery backup?
No, this project scope is already set, but that's another reason why we're advocating for funding for the new air traffic control tower to address some of those backup issues.
Okay, so that's separate, but thank you. So it's 5%.
There is a lighting component to this project, and
saw
that's
that.
one of the ad
Yeah.
alternates. So if you've been up in the tower and you see those antiquated control systems, so there is a piece of this project to be able to put a control panel in there to be able to control the lighting. So that's what you're seeing in there, is to be able to control that from the tower, not manually on the ground.
Very good.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Ready to vote? All in favor? Say, ma'am, you're out of order. This is, I'm gonna ask you one more time to leave or be quiet.
What is the order?
Okay, you need to leave. Officer, I'm gonna ask to have him removed.
Off air.
So I think you have a motion and a second on one.
Right, so we're ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Next.
Then I would motion to submit the application to the FFA.
Motion to.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to submit the application for the grant award. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 25 is contract award PUR 1823, aircraft rescue and firefighting, building demolition at Hagerstown Regional Airport.
The next recommendation is the contract award PUR 1823. The recommended motions are: motion 1, contingent upon successful FAA and MAA grant application and awards. We have moved to award the contract for aircraft rescue and firefighting building demolition at the Hagerstown Regional Airport to the responsible firm, Blue Rock Remodeling, out of Rockville, Maryland, with the lowest total bid amount of $92,000. Motion number 2, move to empower the staff to sign and submit FAA and MAA grant applications, issue purchase orders, execute task orders, and complete related paperwork for this project, for the total cost below the amount programmed and approved in previous county budgets. The project involves the demolition of the old abandoned airport fire station to remove it from the airport's runway visibility zone and runway object-free area. This will enable the airport to meet FAA safety standards and to improve line of sight between the primary and crosswind runways. This is a rebid from previous bids that were rejected. Demolition services have now been separated out from the airport fence realignment work. At its May 7th, 2024 meeting, the Board of County Commissioners previously voted to empower the airport director to sign and submit FAA and MAA grant applications for the related paperwork for this project based upon total cost being for the amounts programmed and approved in the previous county budgets. The invitation to bid was advertised on the county's website and on the eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website. 21 companies downloaded the document and 8 firms were present at the pre-proposal. We did receive 8 proposals for this project. The project is identified in the county's capital improvement plan under LDI 068.
And I'm guessing this is 5%, same thing as the last one?
Correct.
Thanks.
Okay, motion 1.
If we, there's not much difference in that number 1 and 2 bid. What was it? Do you have an estimate on what you thought it would be?
Yes, that's in there. The engineer's estimate, I believe, was just 6% or so higher. Yes, 92,756 was the engineer's estimate for the work.
Does the removal of the building, does that include any of the removal of the apron with the building or the flooring of the building? Do you understand my question? I'm just curious
Yeah,
how
my
much
understanding
disturbance
is
occurs.
that we're not necessarily disturbing outside the footprint of the building.
Okay, so it's
it would
just the
be
footprint of the building?
Just the footprint of the building.
Okay, and is it the floor of the building also, or you're not sure?
I'm not, I could clarify
It's just
that.
torn, okay, it's
Yeah,
being demolished to the ground
It's for
level?
the visibility down to ground level and solid surfacing.
Okay, just curious, thanks.
As in all contracts, has the award winner been vetted for?
Correct. We've talked with this contractor. The consultant, ADCI, has done more extensive communication with them, and they're also on a upcoming prospective award as well. So it is a new contractor to us in Washington County.
References checked and things like that, they all were positive?
Yes.
And we may see new vendors. We have our new online bidding site, which opens it up to a wide variety of vendors. So we like to see that. That's competition. So you may see more new vendors in the future.
What do you think the likelihood that we'll get the award is?
This one, I would say near 100%, because the way these projects work is we have entitlement funds, which are capital funds set aside by the FAA for the airport meeting its employment goal targets. So if we receive that, this program is scheduled to use entitlement funds. The ones we just awarded, Runway 220 is competing for discretionary funds. So that's the one that's competitive, much more time sensitive. Both are, but essentially they go through kind of as a pairing, and they evaluate those, and the funds first off the board are your entitlement funds, and then remaining funds can compete for discretionary grants.
Yeah, I guess it's entitlement because this is a safety issue.
Well, yes and no. They consider it, basically we structure our capital improvement plan so that we can compete for as much discretionary outside funds. And so projects that deal with runways, taxiways, kind of working from inside the airport out, compete better for discretionary funds. Things like this, which are still safety improvements but more peripheral, is where we have a better chance to just use our entitlement funds to get the project done. So we try to structure things to be most advantageous to bringing more outside grant funds into the airport.
Very good, thanks. And where's the contractor located?
Their address, I believe, is Gaithersburg?
Rockville.
Rockville.
Okay, any other discussion, questions? Motion for item number 1?
I'll go ahead and make a motion. I mean, it is the cheapest one, although it's not by a lot. And to your point, it is helpful to have a lot of people competing on our work.
Second.
Okay, a motion and second for motion number 1. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now, discussion and motion for motion number 2.
I make a motion that we apply for the grant.
Second.
Okay, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0, likewise. Thank you. Next item under tab 26 is contract award PUR 1824, Airport Operations Area, fence, access gate, and realignment at Hagerstown Regional Airport.
The next recommendation is contract award PUR 1824. The recommended motions are: motion 1, contingent upon successful FAA and MAA grant applications and award. Move to award the contract for the airport operations area fence and access gate realignment at the Hagerstown Regional Airport to the responsible firm Blue Rock Remodeling out of Rockville, Maryland, with the lowest bid total sum of $2,218,625. Motion number 2 is to empower the staff to sign, submit FAA and MAA grant applications issue purchase orders, execute task orders, and complete related paperwork for this project based on the programmed and approved budgets by the county. The project includes the removal and reinstallation of new AOA Airport Operations Area security fencing gates to meet runway visibility zone requirements. A section of the existing parameter fence that runs along the east side of the runway 02 is also currently located within the runway object-free area. This section of the fence will be removed and a new fence shall be constructed outside the ROFA. The project has been broken out from a larger project that was designed and bid in 2025. We had no successful bids for that project. Therefore, the project is broken up into separate, more discipline-specific work elements to diversify the potential bidder pool and to obtain successful bids for this project. Both contract PR 1823 and 1824 are anticipated to be included under the same FAA and MAA grants. The invitation to bid was advertised on the county's online bidding website, the state's e-Maryland Marketplace Advantage website. 15 companies downloaded the document. 6 firms were present at the pre-proposal, and we did receive 6 proposals for this project. This project is identified in the county's capital improvement plan, LDI 068.
I have one question. I just noticed that you say motion to empower staff. Do we normally do that?
No, but I believe this was due to the supplies and the applications.
I think Neil normally signs the actual grant applications that go in as an authorized agent. So that's what it's referring to.
Well, aren't grants normally signed by the board president? Grant applications?
Neil has noted that in his absence today, he'd give me this, in May 2024, the board did vote to empower him to sign these applications for these projects. It was one project at the time, it's 2 projects now, they broke it apart.
What that is referring to is this project was previously advertised with the demolition of the ARF station as one. We only received 1 bid and the board rejected it. So when you're dealing with FAA projects, there's multiple kind of applications that need to be made and submitted and purchase orders. So I think it's a question of what is he permitted to sign versus what does President Barr need to sign for essentially moving those documents through execution.
It's just unusual.
I would say Commissioner Barr would have to review and sign with the permission of the vote of the commissioner's approval. Another check and balance. Someone tell me different.
So then the previous 2 items that also need amended to remove empower staff.
I know there is a deadline, I believe, for June 15th, so provided you're available to sign those documents.
That won't be a problem.
Okay.
So we need a motion to kind of back up and cover that.
Yes, we need to amend the previous 2 items.
I'll make a motion to revisit the previous 2 motions with the condition of the approval and signature of the commissioner and commissioners and John Barr's signature. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for that revision. All ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Now.
Now, for this one, the motion would be amended to just move to approve. Instead of empower staff, it would just move to approve. The submission of the grant applications and
Out of curiosity, how much was the project that was rejected a couple of years ago?
It was over $3 million.
Oh, so we got a better price.
Yes.
Sort of break this whole, this is done in, I'm a little confused, I'm sorry. This is done in certain bidding sequences and bidding awards. What's it, do you have your, what, number 1 low bidder was Blue Rock? Do they, how they align with, it's in there somewhere, the engineering estimates?
Yes, so the engineering estimate for this one, I believe, was actually a little bit less. $1,937,480 was the engineer's estimate on this one. So on this one, at least with respect to that, the bids are a little bit higher than that estimate.
So what's, of all these bids tabulated, what's the difference between the first bidder and say the second or third bidder or whoever? What's it?
The spread on this one, the high bidder is $3,333,575, and I believe they were the vendor that submitted the bid that I just referenced that was rejected previously.
That makes sense.
So, yes, the bids were separated this time around, and ultimately ended up being a new vendor bidding on it because we had kind of an issue of, well, is it a demolition project or is it a fence project? And so you had people not necessarily expertise in either one and not a GC that wanted to step in and do the project and manage both. So we did get, on both projects, more bids received for both of them, which is a good sign. But again, it is a new vendor.
In 8 years, I haven't seen that vendor. That's why I'm questioning it.
They didn't exist 8 years ago.
They seem really, again, competition's good, and I agree with what Neil said. It's always good, but is there a fear of there being too low?
I will say this, I mean, again, the engineer's estimate is one thing. We request their sub-consultant listing and estimated pricing. So, I mean, they are using Long Fence for the fencing work, and I know they're a reputable company. So a lot of times you have a GC on this project. A lot of the work that they are proposing to be done is by subcontractors. We do have a minimum percent of work to be completed by the prime, and they've met that. So again, they've listed their subs, they've been checked out. So I know we just awarded an earlier project along fencing for gates and things like that.
Yeah,
so some of it's coming down to how they're managing the subs and the overhead.
Who vetted all the company? I mean, who vets them? Does AC?
They take the lead. You want to explain kind of our process on this one, because we did a little bit more effort than usual.
So for Blue Rock, because they were new, it was more or less a team effort. ADCI did call the vendor, did speak with the vendor, got a list of jobs that they had done. They had some foreign embassy jobs overseas. They had I don't have the paper in front of me that had the
Yeah, they did embassy work in Washington, D.C. I would say they have done, residential work. They do commercial. Their commercial work was more on the State Department side, doing embassy. So they have experience doing security projects, fencing projects. And again, this project is more that than necessarily
it's not really as much about
project and site
airport operation. It is about just what they could do on any commercial
fencing
property.
Project and gate.
So they haven't really had airport experience, but in this case, I'm not sure it matters.
Do we require a bond? Anything over a
Correct.
certain amount?
Yes, there's a bid bond and a payment and performance bond.
Okay, so they are
And
bonded.
they are registered with the state of Maryland, so we do check that too. So they're in good standing. And they have been since 2022.
I just want to clarify, when Commissioner Klein made his motion, he referenced previous items. He was referring to 24 and 25.
Yeah.
Is there any plan now or in the future to provide any form of parking for general aviation aircraft in the vicinity of the museum?
I would say yes and no. So there's a part of that apron which was purchased several years ago under an FAA grant to provide that visibility zone. And then I know Neil's had some conversations and meetings with the airport, or the Hagerstown Aviation Museum, about kind of reconfiguring where they can park aircraft, because as you know, there's the object-free area, but then there's also kind of that cone that steps back up, where you can put things maybe a lower level, but not high tails and things of aircraft. So I think he's had those discussions, and I know there was a meeting about it. But I don't have a parking layout for everything. They park aircraft there now.
Yeah, but it's not something that if I were landing at that airport that I could say I'm headed to the museum, that I can easily, Tower could move me to park. Do you understand my point?
Correct. I mean, the gate, there will be a functioning sliding gate, 160 feet, so there will be access in and out, but technically that is off airport property.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, looking for a motion for motion number 1.
Is it appropriate to ask another commissioner a question? Like, Commissioner Wagner, the last one that we looked at was only $756 difference.
Right, that didn't bother me at all, that was good, yeah.
And then this one, of course, is 300,000, sorry, difference. Would you feel better if we divided it between two different contractors?
I'm not after that as much as I am just making sure they were vetted properly, because 8 years, I've never seen the name, and it didn't exist 8 years ago. And I mean, it wouldn't matter if you divide, they're still less expensive than either way. I think the grand total is more than that figure you just mentioned on everything, isn't it? A difference?
Well, I mean, there are two separate bid awards right now,
Right.
two separate estimates.
Right.
Even though the capital funding is coming from the same Washington County CIP number.
Right.
Because of how we had it set up originally, but we're doing two bids. I mean, I will say any project that we do, there's always risk of unknowns, whether it's a known vendor or a new vendor. So I can't sit here and promise that everything's going to go, perfect. We do what we can. And ultimately, procurement's assistance and with the team is to try to define or judge if they're responsive and responsible. That's really where we're coming from, is evaluating that.
The next low, we would have to determine that the low didn't meet the requirements, because we did advertise with, of course, low bid does drive it, but they also have to meet the requirements of the solicitation. And we found nothing that said otherwise.
Yeah, and I mean, saving money, I get it, and that's what we're here for, to try to save as much as we can. And I'm a little bit more comfortable personally because ADCI vetted them. I mean, they've been in the business forever, and they're big, they're huge. So that makes me more comfortable, so.
We can't just not award someone because they're new, because we're gonna always have new vendors.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the hesitation, but we can't just say we are too new to take on our project. Like you said, ADCI did make their calls, and they did vet them, as well as, we went through what procurement does to vet them.
And we have procedures in place. If they fail to perform any of the duties or responsibilities that are included in the contract, we have things in place to address that.
Correct. We don't like doing it, but that's to Commissioner Barr's question before about the payment and performance bond. You don't like to go there, but there's measures that we take to protect ourselves.
Okay. Looking for a motion for the first recommendation, motion number 1.
Make a motion to approve motion 1.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, ready to vote. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. And then motion number 2 is to,
Without empower staff.
right, to submit FAA and MAA grant applications
Motion to approve that.
as amended.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Second.
Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you. Thank you. Next item is under tab 27, and that is contract award PUR 1786, Washington County Office Building Roof Repair.
The next recommendation is contract award PUR 1786. Move to award the contract for the Washington County Office Building Roof Repair to the responsible firm Bonded Applicators of Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, with the lowest total bid sum of $292,845. The work includes removal of the existing membrane roof system on the county office building, removing and resetting rooftop equipment, installation and insulation, cricket slopes, saddles, flashing, PPO roofing system, and parapet wall repairs. The building is located at 3335 West Washington Street in Hagerstown. The invitation of bid was advertised on the county's online bidding site, the State of Maryland's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website. 16 companies downloaded the document. 15 companies were present at the pre-bid proposal, and we did receive 10 proposals for this project. Capital Improvement Plan Budget BLD 100 has made funds available for this project.
Discussion, motion?
Just my curious question, engineer's estimate on that?
Yes, we did one, I think it was around 300,000, 250 or 300,000.
Yeah, 'cause
I
again, there's a-
budgeted for this one in the facility roof repairs. Unit price is a little higher because it's a little bit more than just a roof replacement. There's insulation and other work, and there's a lot of equipment.
Just another huge discrepancy, that's all, which is in our favor.
In this case, Bonded Applicators has done a lot of work with the county, and they're also
Yeah, it's a well-known
familiar
name.
with the building. They've done patch repairs on it already, so, I mean, I think they know what they're getting into.
Oh, I'm not questioning their ability, I was just thinking, we keep seeing all these big
Yes,
swings.
you say, what's the reason? I think in this case, it's familiarity, and they are a local contractor.
And I think they see the competition. When they're on our site, they can see who's bidding on that.
Yeah.
So there's a number of vendors on there.
And we had a lot of participation in the pre-bid meeting and the site visit.
Okay, any other discussion? Looking for a motion?
Motion to award.
Second.
Okay, motion is second for award as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Next item under tab 28 is contract award PUR 1787 Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center renovation.
For my last recommendation, contract award PUR 1787. Move to award the contract for the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center renovation to the responsible firm, Trison Construction of Baltimore, Maryland, with the lowest total bid sum amount of $2,799,775 for the base bid at alternates 1, 3, allowance and unit prices, and to approve and execute the referenced budget adjustment. So that'll require two approvals, one for the award and one for the budget adjustment. The project includes renovations to common use areas on 3 floors of the former school building constructed in 1949. Washington County is the building owner, and primary building tenants include Head Start and Children in Need. The project will renovate portions of the building to upgrade building systems and accommodate public facility use as a community gymnasium. Building renovations include replacing the wood floor in the gymnasium, new restroom facilities, installation of an elevator and machine room, HVAC systems, sprinkler additions, fire alarm and door security systems, partial roof replacement, windows, 2 entrance canopies, and landscaping. The building is located at 131 West North Street in Hagerstown. The invitation of bid was listed on the county's website along with the State of Maryland's eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website. 60 companies downloaded the document. 18 firms were present at the pre-proposal, and we did receive 5 proposals for this. Funds are budgeted in various capital improvement plans for these services. And a $125,000 budget adjustment form from Facilities Roof Repairs. MLK Gymnasium is requested to cover the construction and inspection costs associated with the roof replacement that will be completed with the renovation project.
Okay, discussion?
Just had a question about the gymnasium. How many people tend to use this?
It varies depending on the event. The hope is, and the plan is after the renovations, the Washington County Recreation Department would be able to run more programming there. Right now, one of the limiting factors is the lack of facilities, restroom facilities, things like that. So it's used daily by Head Start for their gymnasium space. And back when Robert Wood Johnson was operating programming for the community, they were using it as well, at least I think two or three times a week. So it's used fairly regularly, and we anticipate the community use aspect would increase once we have this project complete. That rental space will be more or less self-contained. Prior to that, there weren't measures in place to be able to ensure that people were staying in the gymnasium and not through other parts of the building or having access to facilities.
And you think our Parks and Rec will be able to use this facility as well?
Correct. I think we'll be able to use it, and even discussions about some of the community reinvestment funds, having that opportunity to support programming there. So I think we're really excited about offering that service to the community. And so it'll be a nice addition, and we're trying to reuse the facilities that we already have rather than going and building a new gym somewhere else. So I think in that regard, it's fairly, cost efficient to do that versus new somewhere else.
And the community reinvestment funds are the monies that we receive from cannabis sales tax.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval, and before I call for a vote, I want to go on the record as abstaining from voting on this when I understand that my former company that I used to own 6 years ago may be a part of this project as a subcontractor, and so therefore I'm going to set this one out. But we do have a motion and a second, and I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
4-0. 4 and 1 abstention.
And for the approval of the budget adjustment?
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a second for that.
Second.
Okay, motion and second for budget adjustment. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
And I abstain. 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item under tab 29, FY 2027 Program Open Spaces Annual Program. Andrew Eshelman.
Thank you. Something a little bit more exciting and lighthearted. Everyone looks forward to this each year. I certainly do. It's to seek a recommended motion to approve the annual FY 27 Program Open Space Project List as was presented and recommended to the Washington County Recreation and Parks Advisory Board. Each year, per POS guidelines, the Board of County Commissioners is required to adopt the annual POS program. The various municipalities, Board of Education, Hagerstown Community College, as well as the county, submit project requests for consideration and inclusion in the program. Based upon anticipated available funds, we develop a program that gives consideration to county parks and recreation priorities, community benefit, and the priority ranking of the project sponsor. This year, the Parks and Rec Advisory Board heard those presentations and voted at its May 7th meeting to recommend the proposed schedule to the County Commissioners for adoption. After adoption by the County Commissioners, we finalized the program schedule, send it into the Department of Natural Resources, and then once that's approved, project sponsors may start and apply for funding after July 1st. This year, Washington County will receive $1,077,378 in FY 27 program open space funds. Since Washington County's met its local acquisition goal, 100% of these funds and apportionment can be used for either acquisition or development. Parkland projects are available for 100% reimbursement, while development projects require a minimum 10% local match. This year, all projects being considered and recommended are development projects. This is highly unusual, but the allocation was a little bit higher, almost twice as much as last year. We had seen a decline after seeing earlier record numbers for allocation in FY '23 and '24. So all project sponsors' requests were funded, including some additional funds that were made available to some of the project sponsors that I revisited with their estimates, because they submit these back in December. And so whether it's asphalt or diesel or those kind of things, we made sure that the funding requests were still met. And so the project list before you, essentially everyone who submitted an application, it's able to be fully funded this year. Are there any questions?
The work in Hancock, what does that involve?
So if you've been up there, you've seen they installed the splash pad, the parking lot, and all of the driveway entrances for that area of the park, kind of south of there and to the east of the library.
Okay.
Is what they want to redo and surface and stripe, so it's not so much of a hodgepodge and broken pavement, and so to have a proper parking lot to serve
Okay,
that
so
facility.
it's specifically for the
Yes.
splash pad?
Yeah, well, I mean, it can serve other amenities within the park, but primarily what's driving it is the
Right.
splash pad.
Yeah, I saw that was gravel, and so
Yes.
it's warranted, sure.
And this is all state money, right?
Correct. It's state money that is, again, as a refresher, it's collected as a transfer tax on real estate sales. So a portion of that goes into a pot of money. And then the state does have discretion over which funding programs within that receive a certain allocation. So when Chris Boggs is in here for land preservation, that's also something that gets funded under this. There's state program open space. So that's why you can look at a whole for what the funds are within program open space at a state level, but then the administration kind of has discretion over how much they allocate to each program, is my understanding.
Move to approve the POS project list.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item under tab 30 is the 2026-2027 property and casualty insurance renewal. Ma'am, you're out of order. Ma'am, you're being disruptive to this meeting. I'm going to ask you to sit down or leave. Ma'am, officer, we're going to have to remove her.
Need to ask her to leave.
Ma'am, you have to leave.
I will leave now. Fuck ICE and fuck your old actions for supporting this. This is all bullshit and you're silencing the people. The people want to speak. Here are the fucking demands.
Off air.
Tracy McCammon, Risk Management Coordinator.
I'm Patrick Marcos. Good morning, Chip Rose, Director of Human Resources.
We're here to present the 2026-2027 Property and Casualty Insurance Renewal. The recommended motion is move to renew the property and liability policies with Travelers Insurance Company and the drone and airport liability policies with AIG. The renewal quotes from the insurance carriers are reflected on the attached premium comparison spreadsheet. The total renewal is a 5.8% increase in premium compared to last year's actuals that were paid. Overall, we had a very favorable insurance renewal as reflected in the premium comparison. Several premiums either decreased slightly or they remained unchanged. There are two items that I would like to highlight from the comparison sheet. First, we were able to get Travelers to agree to increase our coverage limit for our cyber to $2 million and to decrease the deductible to $25,000. Second, there is an increase to our auto line premiums, both in the liability and the physical damage. The increase is mainly due to our loss ratio and the number of transit bus accidents that we've had over the past year. So unfortunately, Travelers has increased the deductible only to our transit bus accidents for the upcoming policy term. So effective July 1st, the deductible will increase from the current $5,000 deductible to $10,000. The HR department has been working with the transit department on a plan to help mitigate some of these claims that we're having, and I can let Chip explain that plan.
Briefly, starting this month, HR and Transit has developed a strategy to increase the volume of drivers we have on demand, improve the structure of the job family so they know where they stand in their family, develop new training for hands-on training specifically, and starting with the new fiscal year, we're going to hire a new safety coordinator. We have high hopes that this will improve the confidence of our transit drivers and will help lower the volume of future incidents.
So as I said before, the total increase in premium is 5.8%. However, we are within the 10% that was budgeted for the fiscal year. Concurrences is Michelle Gordon, County Administrator, and the alternative would be to go back and try to complete a market bid, but that could create a lapse in coverage. So any questions?
How long have we had this company?
We've been with Travelers since 2000.
And when have we put it out for bid?
Trying to think the last time we went out to bid.
It was before my time handling the account. We did, the property in Inland Marine were with another outfit as of 2 years ago. And then we bid that out, and Travelers came in with a very aggressive option that we did accept, or the county accepted, that they're with now. So the property in Inland Marine, those were shopped in market. That's how they ended up at Travelers. But we have not shopped that out in, at least since I've been handling the account. It's not to say we could not, it's just the account isn't in the best shape to expect a better result right now due to some lost history. So when all the things that HR is doing from a safety standpoint start to show as a result of lower frequency of claims and lower claims, and the presentation would look better to potential suitors, then that's the time we want to go out and do that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about putting a motion to accept this, because it's 1 year, right?
Yes.
Accept this for 1 year, but with the stipulation that we're going to go out to bid next year to get other prices that we can look at.
You kind of want to, is that a motion?
That's a motion, yes.
I want to do a second for discussion. It sounds like to me on Travelers that, what was their proposal on cyber that we got them to 2 million, 1 million?
So we originally had 1 million. We've had that since our renewal in 2023 because of our cyber incident that we had in November of '22.
Right.
We originally had a $3 million policy. Deductible was $25,000.
Okay.
And when we did the renewal in '23, they reduced our coverage to 1 million, put some sublimit coverages on some of the other things that was covered in the policy, and increased our deductible to $50,000. And ever since then, I've been trying to get it back up.
So we did manage to get 2 million and 25,000 instead of 50,000 and.
Correct.
Or less than 2 million.
Yes.
And to your point on this particular situation with the cyber, this wasn't just an ask, like Travelers, will you do this for us kind of thing. Competition did force their hand a little bit on having adjusted terms for us, both in pricing and getting that attention from that.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's fair to shop it in a year, but I'm fine, yeah.
Is that a second?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you.
So that motion approves as amended.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Next item, tab 31, agriculture. June is National Dairy Month. And do we, Kelsey?
Michelle?
Nope.
You need to, what? Ice cream. Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Kelsey Cadle, Agricultural Business Specialist for the Department of Business and Economic Development.
Good morning, Commissioners. Danielle Weaver, Director of Public Relations and Marketing.
Every June, we celebrate National Dairy Month, a time to recognize the farmers and dairy producers who help feed our communities every day. Dairy continues to play an important role across Maryland, both economically and culturally. The recent data from the Maryland Department of Ag shows that milk sales in 2023 generated nearly $185 million statewide, reflecting the strength and lasting importance of the industry. Washington County remains a key part of that success, being the leaders for the state. With 92 dairy farms throughout the county, local farm families work hard all year round to provide local milk, cheese, ice cream, and other dairy products to be enjoyed by families across the region. This year, National Dairy Month celebration is especially meaningful as Washington County commemorates its 250th anniversary. Agriculture has shaped the county since its earliest days, and dairy farming has long been one of the defining traditions. The area's rich limestone soil, water resources, and open pasture land has made an ideal place for dairy farms to thrive, helping establish an industry that has supported generations of local families. So let us remember that National Dairy Month is not only a time to celebrate the nutritious dairy products, but also a chance to recognize the hardworking farmers who continue a tradition that has been a part of Washington County for 250 years. Residents are encouraged to support local dairy producers this month and every month. And of course, there's no better way to celebrate than with a sweet scoop of local ice cream.
And I'm here today to officially announce the Washington County's 250th Anniversary Ice Cream Trail, which officially launched on June 2nd and will continue through the last day of summer, which is September 22nd. This year's special theme trail features 16 participating stops across Washington County, giving residents and visitors an opportunity to enjoy local ice cream while exploring communities throughout the county. The Ice Cream Trail celebrates both our strong dairy heritage and our 250th anniversary, highlighting the farms, creameries, and businesses that help make Washington County such a special place. The response has already been incredible, with one participant completing all 16 stops in less than a week. Whether you visit one stop or all 16, the Ice Cream Trail is a fun way to support local businesses, celebrate our agricultural roots, and take part in Washington County's 250th anniversary festivities throughout the summer. Along the way, you can create lasting memories with friends and family, meet fellow participants, and maybe even make a new friend while enjoying some of the best ice cream Washington County has to offer.
And we do have one of those locations for you for when the meeting is over in the break room. We have gotten ice cream from Misty Meadow Farm Creamery for you today.
And they were also our favorite ice cream shop for last year's trail.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, next item under tab 32 is the Washington County Diversity and Inclusion Committee appointments. Dawn?
Dawn Marcus, County Clerk. Commissioners, on behalf of the Washington County Diversity and Inclusion Committee, I am requesting a motion to appoint Thomas Waldron and Maya Shoup to serve a first full 3-year term from June 1st of 2026 through May 31st of 2029. This is not a paid board.
Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion is second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0, thank you. Next item under tab 33, Washington County Veterans Advisory Committee reappointment.
Dawn Marcus, County Clerk. On behalf of the Washington County Veterans Advisory Committee, I'm requesting a motion to reappoint Aaron Palmer to serve a second 3-year term from November 1st of 2025 through October 31st of 2028 as a veteran representative. This is not a paid board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Do we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item under tab 34 is the Sheriff's Office, First Amendment to MOU between Washington County Public Schools, Sheriff's Office, and Board of County Commissioners. Zachary?
Thank you, President Barr. Zachary Kiefer, County Attorney. I'm before you today with the recommended motion to approve the First Amendment to the School Resource Officer MOU between the Board of Education, Sheriff's Office, and Board of County Commissioners. The School Resource Officer MOU provides for the assignment of full-time school resource officers to the Board of Education for placement at the Board of Education Central Office, Boonesboro, Clear Spring, Smithsburg, and Williamsport school complexes. The School Resource Officer MOU dated July 1, 2025 was executed by the parties and includes Attachment 2, establishing the yearly cost of each SRO's salary and benefits to be paid by the Board of Education. The MOU requires Attachment 2 to be amended annually. The purpose of this first amendment is to amend Attachment 2.
I don't have attachment 2 in my packet. Can I make a copy of that for the commissioners?
I'm sorry, it's not in my packet either, but I can certainly get that to you.
Are you emailing that right now? I'll go print it for the commissioners.
My apologies, President Barr. I guess once Commissioner Wagner and Michelle come back, if you want to move on, and we can maybe
Yeah,
get that in front of you. I'm sorry, it's not coming up in my emails.
I was just looking at the next item here. I'm not sure I want to move into that without full board and.
We can wait.
Yeah, County Administrator. We'll just hold tight here for a moment. Yes.
Who's the other 75%?
It's just.
They pay the full amount, but each quarterly payments of 25% of the total cost, but they pay the whole.
Sorry,
increased 86,000 from 125 to 55 to 125, 311. So about 86,000.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe it is okay. It's okay. It's okay. I went ahead and wrote 255 to 311.
Okay.
Thank you. Just,
Zach's printing it now.
okay, well. Should we wait for Zach?
Yeah, I think you guys need to take a look at the MOU.
That other item, it is correct. Okay. I wasn't looking at it right.
Thank you.
Okay, let's come back to the MOU between Washington County Public Schools, Sheriff's Office, and the Board of County Commissioners. So I think everyone's been handed a update here.
So for the audience and the viewers, the total fiscal year budget amount is $905,634.56.
This amount is paid for by the Board of Education, and it comes out of the funding that the county provides to the Board of Education as part of maintenance of effort. And I believe this contract has been in place for quite some time, so it's included in maintenance of effort.
Any discussion? Motion for,
I guess just a brief discussion. I really support this program that we have officers in the schools. It helps protect the kids, and they have good relationships with the students as well, which provides a good positive example. So I'm glad to be able to take part in this. Then I'd go ahead and make a recommendation that we move forward.
okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0, thank you. Next item under tab 35 is the FY27 General Fund Budget Adjustment.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kelsey Mace, Chief Financial Officer. Staff is requesting an adjustment to the Board of Education's FY27 budget based on the final state aid calculations issued by the Maryland State Department of Education. On May 19th, the MSDE released their final state aid calculations for FY27, which included some revisions from their preliminary calculations. Based on these revisions, the amount budgeted for direct allocation to the Board of Education increased $86,580. And I'm double checking to see where my typo's at, if it's in this increase or if it was in the budget that we started with. But the budget will be changing to $125,311,760, and the amount for the private pre-K will decrease $9,970 from $499,000 to $920 to $489,950. So it either increased to $86,580 or $56,580, depending on where my typo was. The net effect on this increase is $76,610, which will be offset by decreasing the amount budgeted for capital reserves. It is staff's request that this change be made to the original adopted budget for FY27, since the fiscal year has not started and budget documents have not yet been published. This will be budget neutral, and the general fund total for fiscal year 27 will remain at $355,751,800.
Great, so this is really just a tweak in what we've done, and it's mandated by the state because we have to do.
It is. I have received an estimated revision based off of changes that they were doing with their state formulas, and that was included in the approved version. But when we did get that final amount out, it just did vary a little bit from what we estimated.
Very good.
So this is based on formulas, not enrollment?
Correct. It was.
Well, enrollment is part of that formula.
Well,
Okay, thanks.
it is, but their changes per their letter, and I can share this with all the commissioners. At the state level, the overall funding for state and local board certifications increased, split between local and state for their career ladder. So this increased the funds for the maintenance of certification for all eligible teachers, and not just those that were recertified in December of '25. There was also changes to the pre-kindergarten, where state and local pre-kindergarten funding decreased by $15.2 million in total, and that was spread out $7.6 million over all the local jurisdictions. And then there's also some enrollment changes that impacted the education effort in local share calculations, in addition to the other program calculations. I'll send this letter out to you to see what all they changed at the state level that recalculated for everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
So I do have the correction. So the starting budget for the direct allocation should be 125,225. So that increase is the 86,580 with a net of 76,000.
Okay, next item under tab 36 is FY27 Community Organization Updated Funding Recommendation.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Dollars to be dispersed to 52 organizations, and the approval of that amount was part of the FY27 budget process. Prior to us distributing the funds, which would be after July 1st of this year, one of the organizations had a strategic change in direction and asked us to pull their request of $20,000. I went back to the committee members, each of which have been appointed by one of the members of the board, and asked them how they would best like to reallocate the $20,000. And their recommendation was to fully fund 7 of the smaller organizations, which I have listed on the chart there, and then the remaining $5,840 to hospice. It wouldn't change the bottom line. The delta difference for each organization to fully fund the 7 and the hospice equals the $20,000, which was to go to the organization who changed their mind. So really no change other than to let the board know that when this list is published, it will look different than the original published list that we presented, but the bottom line is different, and 7 of our small organizations will be able to have their request fully funded.
Okay.
I guess one question is, where does this money come from? Is this from the general fund for?
Yes.
So we could just put it back into the general fund, couldn't we?
The $20,000? You could. Prior to this year, there was $1,200,000 that the board allocated to community organizations. We had over 3 million plus, maybe even $3,500,000 worth of asks, so the board upped the amount to $1,300,000 this year, so we could fund, some additional organizations because the asks are incredibly large for the amount of money that is available to be funded.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Motion to approve.
No motion requested for this, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
This is just information.
Yeah, just want to make sure that what we publish is exactly what we will be dispersing. And they go dispersing for quarterly to the organizations.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you guys have an awesome day.
Thanks for the information. Next item under tab 37 is the ARC grant for Fort Ritchie Sewer Project.
Good morning, Commissioners. David Mason, Interim Director of Environmental Management. Today, looking for a motion to apply for and accept the awarded funding for the ARC grant application recently submitted to Tri-County for the Fort Ritchie Sewer Infrastructure Project. The county is applying for $404,910 in the grants, which will be matched by the county for a total project amount of $820,000.
So I just wanted to amend the motion. I did speak with Elizabeth Stallman of Tri-County Council. She would like our motion amended to state that we are submitting the preliminary project description, and if selected, to apply for the grant by the Tri-County Council Review Board in July. The motion would, second motion would be, if selected, to apply and we have permission to apply and accept awarded funding from ARC. The county match would come from the sewer fund, not from general fund.
Okay. Motion.
Motion.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes.
Just to clarify, we own this sewer line, correct?
We, as part of the MOU that was approved at the last meeting, it is required that the property owner transfer the infrastructure and the easement to the county, and that will be brought back before the board on June the 30th. So before any contracts would be signed and before the grant would be applied for, we will own the property as of June 30th.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you. Next item under tab 38 is the 2026 SAFER Grant application, request to apply and accept.
Good morning, Commissioners. David Hayes, Director of Emergency Services.
David Chisholm, Deputy Director of Emergency Services.
Commissioners, we're here today. It's a little bit of a short notice, but we just received notification about 3 weeks ago that the FY26 FEMA SAFER Grant opportunity had opened, and it's only open until June 22nd. So we're in a short window to actually seek your approval to apply and subsequently do so. So we're looking today for motion to authorize the Division of Emergency Services to submit a FEMA grant SAFER application to hire 24 firefighters and accept the grant funding if awarded. Over the previous 5 years, the DES has continued to place additional full-time firefighters in multiple fire stations throughout Washington County. While the addition of these firefighters has increased the number of trained and certified firefighters on duty each day, there are still many instances where apparatus and/or departments struggle to get adequate firefighters on apparatus for call responses. By authorizing the division to hire 24 additional firefighters, it will enable DES to continually and strategically place firefighters in additional fire stations throughout the county. The fiscal impact, because this is a graduated grant, it is 75% federal money the first 2 years, and then switches to 35% year 3, and then year 4 is the county's obligation entirety. FY '27, if we funded for the full year, would be $679,042.36. If we did not hire, and we likely could not hire prior to January 1 of 2027, that would only require slightly over $339,000 in the current fiscal budget that we operate. And the subsequent years would be an additional $679,000. And in FY '29, it would be 1.7, almost 1.8 million, and in FY '30. At some point in FY '30, the full cost of 2.7 million will transfer to the county. We have concurrences from obviously myself, Michelle Gordon, the county administrator, Kelsey Mace, the chief financial officer. There is funding available in our budget that could cover those costs. And I do have the volunteer coordinator, Ole Griffith, is here, and we met last week to brief the association and their leadership. President Sprecher is here as well. We still have 6 outstanding letters for requests of support for staffing, 2 of which will be answered through RC8. This would allow us to answer at least 2, maybe 3 more of those letters with a successful award.
What's the total request of, how many firefighters are being requested by stations right now, total?
It somewhat depends, Commissioner, on how many we put in each of those stations. So,
But what would be the request? Like, if you added up everybody's request, would it be?
normally it's 3 firefighters on duty each day, which takes 12 to make that happen.
Right. So you couldn't fulfill what you're being requested, is what you're saying?
No, this would not complete a full request to get all of this. What we are benching this off of is response matrix, so we're trying to make sure that where we see struggles to get adequate staffing, these would be the stations that we would approach first and place staffing there, understanding we can't hire 50 or 100 firefighters at one time.
Right.
And I just want to point out that approval of these 24 positions would be contingent upon approval of this grant, meaning that if the grant is not approved, we will not fill those 24 positions.
And we applied last year, correct?
We did.
And we didn't get it.
We did not.
And this year, who's writing the grant? Do we have,
So
do you guys write it, or do we
we'll
have?
write the grant. We use the narrative from our 2021 SAFE grant. We certainly could execute a grant writer, but they're usually templated grants, and we're prepared to use.
Is there a reason we weren't accepted last year?
We were not awarded in Maryland last year.
None were awarded.
So take that, read what you want out of that, but Montgomery and Frederick applied, and that's highly unusual that neither of those 2 would have gotten funding. Frederick's been successful at least 4 times, I believe.
We were successful a few years ago as well.
Yeah, we received 33 firefighters in 2021. We're confident our grant was, the quality of the grant was good.
Oh, I'm not saying, well, I'm just curious.
But it's a highly competitive grant too, so there's only roughly $350 million available, and they probably get over $1 billion worth of requests, so it's just possible that we didn't make it.
So this is a $2.7 million obligation for the county. Does that include retirement as well?
It does. Yep, that's total cost.
Okay.
Retirement, health insurance, Social Security, taxes, all of those things are in the formulation that you would see behind this that drives the number.
Very good. And if we got the grant, these would all become county employees. They couldn't be employees of volunteer fire companies.
Correct. They would be county employees.
Okay.
What's the length of our rookie school? How many
Roughly
weeks?
26 weeks now.
26 weeks? So realistically, we're only, if we run 2 a year, we're.
Yeah, we struggle to get 2 in a year. The time
Yeah.
we have to go through a hiring process.
Yeah.
And then actually implement the school, we would likely not get 2 in a year. And this grant typically, and I can't tell you when we may get notified, good or bad, we just last week received the denial letter from last year's grant. We already knew we didn't get it, but the official notification just came last week. So this grant historically has opened in January, February. It did not open until late May. It historically awards somewhere in the August, September, October, typically by the end of September. The awards are there, so I can't really tell you when we find notification if we were successful. So that's where I say I don't believe there's any realistic opportunity to where we could be hired prior to July 1 or January 1. And at that point, we'd be late fall next year getting them to fire stations. So this is well over a year process, even if we got the grant.
You know, I see it as we've missed the grant at least twice, right?
Yes, the very first one we wrote, we did not get. The second one we wrote, we did get. The last one, we did not get, so this will be our fourth.
And, you know, I don't, I know what the situation is, been sitting here for 8 years. I would have to approve it because I'm thinking if we even have a shot at getting it, and we're probably not gonna get it again for a few years. That's just my logic. I could be wrong, but.
Yeah, and our biggest ask here and why we push to get here is if we believe we're going to hire additional firefighters in the next 1, 2, or 3 years, we could potentially get them now, execute federal dollars that significantly offset those costs, and potentially have those firefighters here, that number of firefighters in.
That's what I was trying to say, but you said it better.
Skip. So anyway.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion and second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Opposed, and I'd like to explain my vote.
Okay.
I definitely support the firefighters, both paid and volunteer, but I'm a little bit uncomfortable committing $2.7 million every single year for 24 new firefighters. So I know at first it would be a grant, it would help us out a little bit, but then we're stuck with this bill. And I'd like to explore other options, like perhaps having the volunteer fire companies hire their own firefighters instead of always having the county come in and hire them. So that's my vote, why I'm voting no. Good, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the last item on our open agenda is under tab 39. And it's a statement regarding open meetings compliance board decision issued June 2nd, 2026. And
Board of County Commissioners, the people of Washington County have statement very clear. You are to listen to.
You are out of order. Please sit down. Please stop.
Reopen our meetings.
You please leave. You need to leave now.
Listen.
Off air.
Okay, let me back up and we'll start over here under tab 39, statement regarding open meetings compliance board decision issued June 2nd, 2026. And as president of the Board of County Commissioners, I'll read the following. Report in brief, acknowledgement and announcement of open meetings compliance board OMCB decision. Discussion, in accordance with Section 3-211 of the General Provisions Article of the Maryland Code, at the next open meeting of the BOCC, after the OMCB has issued its opinion, a member of the public body shall announce the violation and verbally summarize the opinion. On June 2nd, 2026, the Open Meetings Compliance Board issued an advisory, and I'll say that again, an advisory opinion in which the Compliance Board found that the Board of County Commissioners did not violate the Open Meetings Act in meeting with federal officials, revising an agenda less than 24 hours before a meeting and removing individuals from several open sessions. The Compliance Board determined the board violated the act by not preparing a written closing statement before convening in an emergency closed session or closed session summary. Finally, it was unable to determine whether the board violated the act in voting to close the meeting for the emergency closed session. So With that, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into closed session for the reasons stated.
Motion to go.
Motion and second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
And with that, let's take a 10-minute recess.